everyone, it's Santana, and you're watching The DL Show only on Dave's Guitar Channel.
All right, everybody, welcome back. What is happening? Gentlemen, Grellbar, I saw you earlier today. Joe, good to see you. Thanksgiving is over. We've gotten through it. I hope no one has killed any family members. And if you have, please list them below. No, I had a gig last night. I think everyone saw that I went live last night with my acoustic duo down in Plymouth. Was very cool. Dwight Bailey, Tim Thomas, Neil, Mike.
Hello, Tim, Mike, how you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Joe, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it's still going on. I still got. I'll be disappearing later on, to get that last turkey breast down my throat before midnight.
Very good. Now this is the turkey breast wrapped in bacon. If I
oh yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Excellent.
You saw it in the video. How did it look?
It looked edible.
Now, what did you guys? What did you? I saw you guys on Instagram. What did you guys have for lunch today?
We had a pizza. We went to BJ's Pizzeria, and
was it better than last week's pizza? Because you kind of gave a lukewarm rating to last week.
Last week is the best pizza on the planet. The problem was they weren't up to their usual great self. Was last week's better than this week? Probably. But this week was very good.
Yeah, after a minor correction.
Yeah. We had to send it back because we asked for double sauce, and they literally just looked like they said, there's the sauce over there. And they were like, oh, do you want us to bring sauce over? We're like, no, we want you to make the pizza with the sauce. It was very weird. And, but yeah. And, Grellbar, your Thanksgiving?
Excellent. And brother came over, made a little 10-pounder. Stuffed our faces.
Excellent. Very good.
Now,
just for the record, because I saw Grellbar was making fun of my shirt last night. That shirt was on a 70s site of the ugliest 70s shirt, and I got it because it looked most like something Peter Brady would wear. Hence why I was wearing it to a Yacht Rock show. It was fantastic.
You ever hear of Homestar Runner?
No.
It was a Flash cartoon that was popular about 10 years ago. But whenever they showed his basement, they would have flashbacks in the 70s, the shirt you were wearing was the wall pattern on the wall. I was dying. Great. I was dying.
It looked like an old Chevy van.
The comment from last night, and I don't think you kept the YouTube video up, obviously, because you'd got copyright striked into hell.
It's up.
Oh, is it? Well, someone, I forget who it was. It might have been Johnny said, his pick is too thick. The attack is too strong. And I came back immediately with, in quotes, that's what she said.
Awful. It's good to see you guys are keeping up with the horrible material when I'm not there. Everybody, today we have a special guest for everybody. Now, once again, we're going to discuss how this all happened. As you remember, we had the Halloween show. We had Rachel Hoffman on the show. And we were talking about our favorite horror movies. And Joe, you happened to bring up
one of my all-time favorites is Prince of Darkness,
which I have never seen, never even heard of. And
which amazed me.
Yeah, you guys looked at me both like I was crazy, and I'm like, that genre. And I like John Carpenter a lot. In fact, I have a great bit where I used to run this music store, and this director came in looking for score paper, and he says to me, he's a director and he's writing the music. And I said, "You're trying to pull a John Carpenter?" The guy thought it was the funniest thing he's ever heard. Meanwhile, I was just like, "Hey, friggin' Halloween's fantastic. I love that music." I think he did the music for Prince of Darkness too, if I'm not mistaken.
If I had to guess, I'd say he did.
I thought he did, but remember, I thought he did it for the thing, and you said it's not him.
He definitely didn't do it for the thing.
Yeah.
But it's
so
his
anyway,
style. It's his style though. That very slow, deliberate, dum 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 dum.
So I'm watching it, and I'm like, God, this girl looks so familiar to me. I had to look her up in the IMDb, and boom, it's my guitar student, Ann. So I reached out to her, and I said, "You got to come on this show." And she was all for it. And she's here tonight, and she's been in a ton of things. She's acted, and I can't even, it's too much to list how much she's been in. Very recognizable, everyone. Anne Marie Howard.
You'll recognize her.
We just call her Anne. Welcome to the chat.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
So I'm sure Joe's going to have a million questions for you with this, but let's just start. You and I met. We were at West LA Music. I was working there, and everyone here knows that I used to work there. You came in, and we somehow started lessons. We did.
Yep,
and,
I play the guitar, but I wanted to get better. And
yes,
Dave and I started playing together, and I did improve. I think I made a lot of improvement when I worked with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you were a good student. I thought you were into it, like wanted to learn how to play. I was lucky in LA. I always had students that were really wanting to get better and were good that way. And you always, and I think we did a bunch of songs too. Weren't you into learning songs?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's what I want. What kind of songs did you want to learn?
What did I come in with? Well, we were doing the good oldies, like we were talking earlier about Ventura Highway, and
right.
Yeah, we did a lot of the
maybe Horse with No Name. Maybe.
Yeah, we probably did that too. Yeah, it was a while ago. How many years ago was that?
I want to say it's got to be. I think it was like around 2007 or 8. So
sounds about
we're
right.
Talking.
So it's more acoustic kind of music.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yes, definitely.
Yeah, she's not playing death metal.
I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, I can't picture going in. It's like, there's this song called Aces High by Iron Maiden. I need to know that, Dave.
Exactly. Yeah, she was like, "Can you show me Walk by Pantera?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that'll be fun." No, but it was great. I love that kind of song anyway, because when you're teaching somebody music and how to play guitar, all those old 70s songs are really harmony rich. The chords have a lot of color to them, whereas, a lot of metal and stuff is just, all the chord is root fifth. So it's like, not the best when you're dealing with harmony. However, that was how we met. And you're still playing guitar.
I am. I play the ukulele now too.
Oh, which is very similar pitched. Which like which one? The tenor one, the one that's pitched up a fourth. I think it is. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I play mandolin now as well. I don't know if I played mandolin then. I had bought a mandolin.
Lot of instruments all over the place. I remember.
Yeah. But I had a mandolin. I bought a mandolin, and the day it came in, I got a gig for it, and I had never played it, and so I asked if I could get the music ahead of time for the session, and then they sent it to me, and I learned it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! This session just bought this thing for me," so it was really cool.
That's a sign of a good musician when you can learn that fast.
It's a sign of serendipity. It was like, oh, I couldn't. So,
now, from what I read, you're a singer as well, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Is mezzo soprano?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Right.
Impressive.
Well, is that high?
Yeah. When you play the guitar, it's kind of nice
soprano and one higher than the alto, I believe.
The mezzo is? It's in between. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, is there video of you singing and playing guitar somewhere?
I don't think there is.
I think there will be soon.
On display in Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
No, I didn't play the guitar there. No,
Blah.
I was
So why don't
killing
you,
it. Too busy killing everyone.
Exactly. Now,
That's
so
impressive too.
how did that come about? Because this is going back some years, and I'm sure I know Joe's going to have a million questions. So you want to start rifling them off, Joe, or
No, go ahead. I'm
Joey-
listening into. I'm trying to get over the old, Ralph Cramden. I keep
Boy.
looking at her, and it's like, I'm not trying to look away. You haven't aged a day. I'm not even joking. You
Very
have to
sweet.
understand,
Thank you.
When that movie came on, when she first came on the screen, I fell in love. And not only that, I watched it with my friend Joe, and my friend Joe would always have the same reactions to female actresses that I did. And I was just watching, and he's like, "Oh," I'm like, And then, like, literally, I watch the movie every year. Every year I get in the mood to really watch it, and I'll watch it like every night for a few weeks. And every time it's like the first time, and then when your character gets it, I'm like, fuck. It's like, no.
no? That's when the glasses come off. That's when you go, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, do you wear glasses?
Yes,
Or is that a prop?
You
All I
got
know
it.
is I'm looking over my shoulder for a homeless person to come stab me right now.
Right?
Right?
Alice
Cooper gonna
Cooper.
put half
looking for
the pencil right through you.
needles.
That's
What's that,
still
Joe?
one of the most creative kills. He puts a half a 10-speed through a guy,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the guy dies balancing on it.
All right. So how did that come about? That role and everything.
That was just, like most other roles, you audition. I was new to LA from New York. I got in my car. I drove to the appointment. I was late because I went the wrong way. And I went to John's house and came in and sat down and auditioned. And I actually read the sides for Lisa Blount's part. So it wasn't for Susan. It was or actually, her name was Lisa in the movie, wasn't it, too? Lisa. But anyway, I read.
Which one was she? Is that the one that did the language?
The
The one
lead.
with Jameson Parker, his girlfriend.
Oh, the redhead.
Yeah, the redhead.
Gotcha.
So so I auditioned and was just sitting on the sofa reading, and John he goes, "Sorry about like getting lost on the way," and I go, "Wow, well, I learned, I learned a lot about LA, so that's fine." So I was driving home and I got a call from my manager. "Hi, Susan," and I go, "Hello, who is this?" He goes, "It's Michael. I had a manager at the time named Michael," and he goes, "Susan," and I go, "Are you crazy? This is Anne. You're talking to Anne, right?" And he said, No, you're playing Susan." And I go, I don't know what you're talking about, because I had just come from the audition. You don't usually hear that fast,
Right.
So he said, "You got the John Carpenter film." And I go, "Oh, well, I auditioned for a different role, so that wasn't making sense that you were calling me Susan, because I didn't read those sides."
Right.
They call them sides, the little
Right.
dialogue that you do. And John read with me. It was so easy, and he's such a great guy. He's just makes everybody feel really relaxed and comfortable, and he's so mega talented. You were talking about his music, that he wrote the music for Prince of Darkness. He wrote the script. He's like a one man. He could be a one man show. I mean,
Right.
he's really talented, and he's kind and generous and a very good director. Oh, I have a picture to show you guys. This is John Carpenter.
I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to blow you up here. Hold on. How cool is that?
Now that's got to be like him. Like, this is where the stream of satanic urine is going to hit you in the face.
That I don't think that's quite what it was. The green substance that everybody was trying to figure out what it was.
It to satanic urine, but that's just Joe.
That's hilarious.
Now, let me ask you, when you guys were filming that, was it green or was that after?
That was lighting. The tank was filled with green water. But remember when I crawled over the girl her name is Ann Yen, and I crawled over her and opened my mouth, and they shot from the side.
Yeah.
So I had a little tube rigged, and I was turned sideways, so you never saw me turn all the way. And there was a crew guy with the tube, and he would, when I opened my mouth, he would squirt it, and
Right.
that was not green. That was just water that they lit with green lights from the side. That's how they
Right.
did that one. They did them all a little bit differently, but there was green liquid swirling around in that container. It was
There
pretty
was. Okay.
wild.
So when you guys were there and you looked at it, did it look freaky when you were there?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was like after post stuff where they
No,
went and
that looked,
colored
it looked crusty and freaky, and he wasn't happy with it at first. I remember the crew guys the props guys had to go back and redo it. There was something he didn't like about it, but what was creepy is that basement, that church basement, because that was a real church basement. It's a historic church.
Right.
So when we went down those stairs to shoot that scene, there were candles lit everywhere. It was really eerie.
Now, where
was that in
church
LA?
located?
Oh, sorry.
What's that?
Same question.
Yeah.
Downtown LA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. Think
But
that
in the
church is
film,
still there
isn't it
because it was
supposed to be
a
New York
historic
or
building.
something?
So yeah.
In the film,
that-
wasn't
say-
it supposed to be a church in New York? I forget.
I thought it was LA. Were they supposed to take place in New York? I don't know. I thought the whole thing was kind of
I think you know what it reminds me of a place I know in New York. So in my head, I always think of
thought
that
it was
place.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
That's too
downtown
funny.
LA, and Alice Cooper was there outside, the church getting eaten by bugs. Or
Right.
they were crawling all over him.
Yeah,
And
and
we
then
had
he
to build-
got into character, right?
He did what?
I said, there were bugs crawling over him. Then he got into character.
Then we got into character.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
There's a scene
Sorry.
in the movie where a guy just turns into bugs at one point.
He turns into bugs?
Yeah, remember the
What
guy
is that sound effect?
outside?
Is that crickets?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crickets. His joke didn't fly, so we
Yeah.
ignore him and the crickets.
Gave myself the crickets.
It died like the bugs.
Yeah, that was the guy outside. He was he turned into the bugs. I can't remember what his name was, his character name.
You're in a scene with him where he comes in by the door and he's standing there like he's all slick, and you back into him, and it's almost like he goosed you, and you kind of look at him real quick.
Oh,
like,
that guy.
Yeah,
Is that Dirk Blocker you're talking about?
I wouldn't. Remember.
Yes.
Yeah, is that Dan Blocker's kid? Is
That's
that who
right.
that is?
Yeah, Dan
Yeah.
Blocker's son.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
And
He's
then
the one. Didn't I twisted his neck off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't long for that film.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. No.
I was
You
wondering,
know what
like,
John
this is
did though? He
Cock.
had us all have individual meetings with him about how to zombie around after we were possessed, and everybody needed to come up with a unique way that they were going to move around.
Oh,
So
okay.
like Dirk had his head, so his head was always cocked to one side. And who else? Everybody just had a different zombie movement, And then my
Who's
glasses,
the-
of course.
What's
No,
the
I'm actually
actor's
seeing
name?
Another guy, not the Dirk guy. The guy with the beard and the mustache that thought he was slick. He dies, and at one point
Oh.
he shows up outside and he's talking with a modulated voice.
The professor?
Hello. No. He's one of the students.
With the beard.
At one point outside, he goes outside and he's like, "I'm out of here. This is bullshit." And
Oh,
he leaves,
yeah,
and that's when
yes.
the homeless woman comes with the
Yes.
the
Stabs and the
blizzard.
Beatles. Yeah.
But then he comes back and he's standing outside. He's like, hello, I have a message for you. You're not going to like it. And then he just
Oh, that's
breaks
right.
down into bugs.
You have seen this movie a lot. That's
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I saw it for the first time a month ago.
What's
Just
the
give my-
actor's name? What's the actor's name who played the professor?
Oh, yes.
That's a good question. I
Let me
wouldn't
look it
know.
up.
That is
What's
a
the
good
Asian
That
guy? The guy who's like with the. I think he was a professor. He's the guy.
Oh,
he's like the
Peter Jason.
Peter Jason. God, he's in
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
I
yes,
love
yes,
him.
that's what he was in
Everything.
48 hours.
He's in Dreamscape. God, he's hilarious. Peter
He's
Jason.
funny.
God, I couldn't think of his name. He looks. Yeah, he's in everything.
Oh, that's
Really
the one
is.
that's whistling like a trumpet while doing the thing with the apple.
Yes, that's
That
Peter.
was pretty, every time I watch that, I'm like mesmerized.
He's like that in real life. He's funny
Well,
like
yeah.
that. He entertains everybody all the time, and he works all the time.
Yeah, he is.
Victor
he's
Wong was the name of the professor.
Right. Yeah. Victor Wong, who was in like Big Trouble in Little China. And
That's
he was
right.
in.
He was in a lot of
Tony-
Peter too. Peter and Victor were both in a lot of John's movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Victor was also in The Golden Child.
Yeah.
Victor Wong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the knife.
Yeah. But Peter Jason's been in, God, he's in everything.
Yeah. I said 48 hours is where I first saw him in.
He's still
Do you remember
alive.
Starman?
Yes.
That was
Oh,
an
yeah.
odd movie.
That was a
John
good movie.
Carpenter.
Oh,
It was
it
a
was?
great movie. Very off genre for John Carpenter, though. Really different
That was the most mainstream movie he did.
that he did.
And besides Halloween, probably the most.
What about Elvis? The Elvis movie with Kurt Russell. That was pretty mainstream on TV.
Yeah.
Did you know that John is touring, or he was at least fairly recently, playing all of it, showing like the clips, the video behind him of the films that he did the music to, and it's a one-man show playing his own music.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was doing it with his son. The music.
I thought he was by himself. Did he bring his son was with him?
That's what I thought.
Oh, maybe so. I never saw it. Did you see it, Joe?
No, I didn't get
No.
to see that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I heard it's pretty good.
Now, just because people don't really know here, so you recently married.
I got married like 2 weeks ago. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Sorry that broke Joe's heart to say that. But however, so have you done anything? Have you been working at all lately? Have you done?
Well,
or have you
during
taken
the pandemic, there wasn't a lot of work for
Right.
and that last.
I'm sorry.
Just turn
sorry
that
about
off. What
Sorry about that. I went to click on something.
Oh, is that right? It was a mistake.
I'm an amateur. Sorry.
What's next? The cat?
Cat's
Right.
out of the room.
all right. Thank God.
But I am working on a film end of February called The Dresden Sun. So
Very
that's going to
cool.
be fun. I'm playing the chairwoman of a board of a very big company. It's kind of a corporate greed fighting over this important thing that could save the world.
Very nice.
Like what
Now,
genre
you're
is
also
that?
in one of my favorite films, since we talked a little bit about the Prince of Darkness. I love You Don't Mess with Zohan. And even though you have a small role in that movie,
Yeah.
I still love it. I love every aspect of that film. And you were saying that you liked working with Adam. He was great.
Adam was great. Something interesting about that scene was we shot that at about 2 or 3 in the morning. So I literally got called in at 10 p.m. and then they said, just sleep a while in your trailer because it's going to, everybody, all the actors get an individual place to wait. And it was on a studio lot. So then they came and they go, just sleep because we're not going to get to you till the middle of the night. So I did. I slept, and then they knocked on my door. Time for hair and makeup, and time to put your suit on. And then Adam was great. He was directing, and he's kind of at that particular point. I think he co-directed that movie, but he was really in charge of that scene. And he was watching it on the playback on the monitor, and I'm just standing over there with my microphone and the guys around me. And, oh, Anne, come over here. You got to see this. This is hilarious. And he had me come over and watch it with him and the producers, and it's just such a nice gesture. They don't do that. They don't have time to do that. And it was really nice. And meanwhile, there's blowing up going on behind me, fires being started, It was really wild.
Yeah, he's like I don't think he's been affected too much by the whole LA thing. He's still like an East Coast, mellow, easygoing guy. I've run into him a few times in LA, and actually he has a buddy, Peter Dante, that's in his movies. He used to go down to the Cafe 50s. We used to run into him all the time after West LA. We'd go down there, and just cool guys. They were always like talking really well about Adam and.
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy. Yeah. He plays the guitar. You've seen him on, with his funny songs, right?
Yeah. He likes a lot of the songs that that were big in the East Coast during that time. That I always notice he puts them in his movies, which I always liked.
Oh yeah.
And you did a lot of TV. You did like Nip Tuck and Castle. I mean, you're
Desperate
everywhere.
Housewives. Yeah.
Yeah, Desperate Housewives.
Fun
You're
stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah.
That's great. And then you were on a soap for some years.
I did Another World and Days of Our Lives. So that kept me busy for a
Where
while.
I saw you and
How long
recognized
were you on Days of Our Lives?
What role?
Now, how long did you
Nicole.
do
Oh,
Days
how
of Our
long?
Lives?
On Days? I think I was just a year, 2 years on Another World. Actually,
was
on
my-
Days of Our Lives, I was taking over for Patsy Peace, who had played Kimberly. And
Oh
then
God, did they have? That was
You were
my
the sick in
mother's soap.
Kimberly.
That was my mother's favorite soap, Days of Our
Yep.
Lives. And whenever someone got replaced, there would always be that announcer's dub over. And
Yeah.
now in the role of, oh my God.
Well,
I
when I came on Another World, I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, she was pregnant and she went on her pregnancy leave, and Shane had just had he'd had like amnesia. Or wait, was that no? That was Days of Our Lives, and that's when I came on Days of Our Lives. So he had amnesia and he remembered who I was, and we're in bed together. And so the first day on the set was like we wore these like nude swimsuits, that were strapless, and then a robe over us. Then we'd take the robe off and sit on the bed and, oh, I love you. It's like
it's
we had
hilarious.
just met. We shook hands. Hello, nice to meet you. And then, kiss, kiss, kiss. I mean, what a job, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now, was Patch and Kayla part of the show during that time?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Yeah, they were big during
Both
that,
really
yeah.
great people. I mean, that was a fun,
Yeah.
they were both fun soaps to work on. Everybody was just really nice. And yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Interesting,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I was telling you earlier, Steve Nichols used to
Yeah.
come into West LA, and I ended up giving his daughter lessons, and he probably had her like right around the time when you were on that show, because
On that show, yeah. Would have been
Around-
what, 90, right around the 90s.
and it was 2007 or 8, and she was like 17.
Okay.
So it was like right around that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she was playing guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very musical too. He had a brother. He has a brother that plays music, and then he dabbled in music. But he was very much into music, and was he was a nice guy. He was funny because I known him for years in the gym. We just used to see each other all the time. And after a while, you kind of get comfortable, like, just, hey, what's going on? Hey, how's it going? Like you just kind of, especially when you're not really that talkative in the gym. He wasn't. And I worked there in 97, so I would see him all the time, and I'd be like, and I only knew him as Steve. I mean, at the time I was like, that guy looks familiar. And then later someone's like, oh, that's Patch. And I'm like, oh, okay. I remember that
Patch and
character
Kayla,
name.
yeah. They were
And so
very
then-
popular.
Yeah. So, and then when he came into West LA, he's like, the hell are you doing here? Don't I know you from the gym? I'm like, yeah, but I play guitar. He goes, we never talk. I go, well, we never talk. We just always, hey, what's up? And so then we had like this big, long conversation, exchanged numbers. He was like, I want you to come teach my daughter. It was great. Nice guy.
That's cool. That's a great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy. So what was your favorite thing you got to act in? Like, what was your memory of, like, this was my favorite experience?
I think I liked The Weatherman the best. That was with Nicolas Cage and Bryant Gumbel and Gore Verbinski, who did, all the Johnny Depp Pirates of the Caribbean. He directed it, and it was the whole experience. And Wolfgang Puck, we did that cooking segment with Wolfgang. Oh, it was just I flew to Chicago twice, and they put us up in great hotels, and they called Nicolas Cage had Cage Camp, which was he had a bunch of trailers. And one was for his workout, and one was for his personal chef, and one was his to hang out in. And he had his private plane with the pilot always available to fly him wherever he wanted to go. And he stayed at the Peninsula Hotel. None of the rest of us stayed there.
Oh,
but,
no.
Wow, he was living the life. It was like,
No, the Peninsula is the one on Little Santa Monica.
no, this is in Chicago, actually.
Oh, okay.
We shot in Chicago.
Is that the name of the hotel?
Yes, there is one. Same.
Oh,
yeah. It's the same.
Thinking
It's
I'm
the
losing
same.
my mind for a minute. I'm
And
like, oh, really?
your character's name in that was
Was my name.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It was Ann Howard. That's
Yeah.
funny. That's a trick
that's
question.
easy one to remember.
Very easy. Yeah, he asked me. It's funny because you know me by Anne Marie Howard, and Gore Verbinski, the director, came over and very sweetly asked me, would you mind if we cut your name short? If we just said Ann Howard? It's just rolls off. It's just easier for us. And I said, sure, that's fine. And then, the crew was all, what station are you from? Where'd they bring you in from? And I go, I'm an actress from LA. I'm like the luckiest actress,
Right.
Great to be there, And Bryant Gumbel, I was like his Katie Couric sidekick,
That's exactly the vibe I got.
It was, yeah. And I was a little bit worried about that because I had heard, I don't know if it's true or not, I still don't know if it's true or not, that they had kind of a falling out at the end of their time together on the show, on the Today Show. But, and I thought, I wonder how he'll be towards me. But her name was not in the script. It wasn't like we want a Katie Couric type. It was just...
Right.
Yeah, so that never came up. And I remember Bryant said to me, we were getting ready to leave one day and I had a handbag, and he goes, yes, my wife is into retail therapy. That's whatever kind of handbag it was. It was some designer name. And I go, oh no, this is I could never afford that. I was like, oh no, this one's a knockoff, So it was funny. He knew his stuff though,
Oh, that is funny.
Now, the amount of times you've played a reporter, have you ever been approached with a job to be a reporter?
Yeah. Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Him.
You.
Well,
yeah.
No, he's saying you. He's saying you've played a reporter many times.
You would think I was a reporter. I played. And that's why I'm so thrilled in this next film. I'm like, chairwoman of a board. It's like not a reporter again, Yeah, you fall into, as an actor, you fall into kind of a little niche, where, they just kind of peg you and go, that's an easy cast, And the nice thing about that is sometimes you don't have to audition for that kind of a role because they've seen you do it so many times. So you get the phone call and you're like, yeah, fun. Sure, I'll do that,
Did you do Cold Case too? Did I see Cold Case?
Now, I did an episode, yeah.
Cold Case is...
That's an old
show. The creator
of
the show... I think she's from Santa Monica. Was it a woman that created that show?
Boy, I don't remember that. Yeah, not sure.
I think I gave her husband lessons.
Oh, wow. It's a small world.
It is. They lived on 4th and Margarita.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice area.
Are you kidding?
You must have been doing well because that's expensive and beautiful. Wow.
And he was like a twin. He had a twin brother, but one was a writer on the show. I think he was a writer on the show, too.
Her husband or her twin brother? Oh.
No, his twin brother. The husband.
His twin brother. Oh.
Was like a writer on the show, and she created the show. But yeah, I gave, again, they came into West LA one time, and a lot of times I'll sit in the acoustic room where someone's looking for an acoustic guitar, and as soon as I start playing, they're like, do you teach? Do you come to the house? And I'm like, sure. Where do you live? He's like, 4th and Margarita. I'm like,
do you remember her first name? Was it Meredith?
Yes.
Yes, Stitchin or something.
His name was Tom.
Tom.
Or Tim. Tom. I think it was Tom. Yeah, I think it was Meredith. Is that who the creator was of that show?
Yeah.
She definitely was the creator of a show. I thought it was Cold. Is Cold Case the one with the blonde girl? Is the star of this show? Is that?
Yes, I think it was, but boy, that's years ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. I used to watch. How about this? I used to watch it. I have no idea.
Catherine Morris was the star of the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. Isn't she also in the movie The Paycheck with Ben Affleck?
Do you know that?
Yeah, let me see.
She's the one who sleeps with Ben Affleck in the very beginning.
Yes, she plays Rita Dunn.
Boom.
Wow, you guys know your stuff.
And IMDb does. Cold Case was created by Meredith Steam, Stiehm. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Steam. I don't know.
Well, let me see. I'm just going to look to see if I have in the number, if his name in my phone still. Because then I would know it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I have a question for Dave. Sitting in the acoustic room, and then when someone comes in to play a few chords, is that like akin to, going up and down the boulevard in heels and a tight skirt? Is that how you got you? Is that how you? And
I ask them if they want a Cleveland steamer, and then they go, Peter, get in the car, and I go, you want a party or what? That's a great Family Guy bit right there. Yeah, I don't have his name in here unless it was Tim. Let me see. Was it Tim? No, but it definitely. It's definitely Meredith is the woman's name. That sounds familiar. And at one point, I think she sat in on 2 lessons. They were both going to take in the very beginning, and then she got really busy and couldn't, and he just took. But yeah, and they had a beautiful home, like I said. On
I was going to say, this is all at their house, right?
Yeah, 4th and Margarita, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and one of my students that I became very good friends with, he lived on Chautauqua.
Oh, that's nice too.
And his place, like, it's like an 8,000 square foot home overlooking the ocean. It was just absolutely insane. And
Wow.
I go over there, he's like, hey, I built a music room under my swimming pool. I'm like, what? It was nuts. It was absolutely crazy.
Wow.
But yeah. But the Hollywood scene, or the Santa Monica Pacific Palisades scene, I should say.
Palisades. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know who was my neighbor for a while? Because you remember where I lived over there on 4th and Marine was Norm MacDonald had moved into the neighborhood. And he's recently just passed. But Norm, I became very friendly with Norm. And he was really big into country music, like real country music, which I thought was very odd. Because you don't really find, I love old country. Like, I'm a huge George Jones fan. You don't find too many people that really like the old Lefty Frizzell or Webb Pierce, just like real country. And he loved it. It was really funny. But yeah, you don't find too many people other than like if you grew up in like Nashville or somewhere where that music is really popular on the radio. Because even for us, like when we were kids, country music wasn't that different than pop music. You know what I mean? Like, could you name it? Do you listen to country today at all?
I don't. Do you guys?
No, of course not. But the radios are very separate. Like, you wouldn't find on pop radio, you wouldn't find Luke Bryan being played on pop radio. You would find him on country radio. But when we were kids,
I see. Yeah, that's true.
You would hear like when you get behind closed doors, right? You would hear all that BJ Thomas songs.
Oh, love BJ.
Yeah. What was that? What's that one that he did?
Something about the rain.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. I just can't help feeling in my mind. Yeah. But then he also had, what was that real long title song he had? I keep on it. Not the most beautiful girl. Hey, won't you play?
Did you happen to see them?
Another somebody done somebody
wrong song. Yeah.
Fantastic. You don't hear radio like that where genres crossed over so much. As when we were kids growing up, that was AM radio. We didn't have a choice, you know.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like people today listening like to the radio, all of a sudden like a folk duo like Seals and Crofts would come on the radio? You'd be like, what the hell is, you know? But back then it was so, you'd hear Seals and Crofts, and then the next minute later you'd hear Dolly Parton. There was no
separation like that.
Yeah. Today it's nuts.
I like folk music. That's kind of my fave.
Like what kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I like the old like Carole King and James Taylor and
sure,
and Cat Stevens. I like all that stuff. Yeah.
What about Jackson Brown?
Jackson Brown. Yep.
Yeah. See, I
like
the other one.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
What's the last song you learned how to play on guitar?
What's that?
What's the last song you learned how to play on guitar?
So it was something I wrote. Let's see. What's the last song I learned to play? I don't know. Maybe Brad would know. Do you know? My husband's sitting in the room because we play together. He plays too.
I was gonna say he can tell you immediately. Yes, it was that one because you wouldn't stop.
He
playing.
plays guitar also.
Does he play?
Oh,
awesome!
Electric guitar and guitar. Yeah.
Well, what kind of electric guitar does Brad have? We got to know.
What kind of
electric?
Let's
get him in here. Let's
Brad, get over here.
Come here, Brad. They want to meet you. He's got a Les Paul and a Fender and what else?
A Schecter Solo 2.
All right. Very nice.
I'm surrounded by Schecter.
Hey, Brad. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Joe and Preble.
What kind of stuff are you playing, Brad?
Oh, you guys all play, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff.
What kind of
Nice.
stuff does Brad play?
Yeah.
What genre of music? The same that you do, or
He likes Neil Young a lot.
lot of Neil Young and Santana. And I got this cool thing called
Oh yeah,
a Spark
Sparky.
amp.
Yeah.
You ever
Oh,
hear
yeah.
those?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I had
So,
ordered that,
I'm
and the
obsessed
delay
with
was so
that.
long.
say
Yeah.
that again, Joe?
I had ordered one of those when the first was offered, and the delay was so long because of COVID. I was like, "You
Yep.
gotta give me my money back."
Oh, see, he waited.
I couldn't
Yeah,
wait.
right here.
He waited for 6 months or more to get
Yeah.
this thing. This is Spark.
Yeah.
Meet Spark.
Yeah,
Yeah, I my
Technology
bass player has one of
these
those.
days.
But what I like about it is you can put backing tracks on and just jam.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I don't, I don't like to play somebody else's song. I like just jam it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
You can
what
write your own stuff.
I guess.
Nice.
Just improvise.
Oops, you're
So
Anyway,
Lindsay,
I'm going to get off camera. Thanks.
Thanks for coming
Nice to
on.
meet you,
Appreciate
Brad.
it.
see you later. Nice meeting you.
That's my husband.
Nice. And what did you have? Did you have a Martin guitar? Do I remember you
Who,
having
me?
a Martin? Yeah,
I had a Taylor 814. I still have it.
814.
Love that
Taylor,
guitar. It's
yeah.
better than
Oh,
me. That's the only problem with it. It's
a great
can't
guitar.
live
I
up
remember
to
you had
the
a really nice
It's so
guitar.
good.
Yeah, that I can remember. That
Yeah.
I knew it was a nice guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing see for me not James Taylor. Jackson Brown was a little bit more I liked a little bit later, but I really like so I did a live show last night. It's me and this guy Jim. And we play all like yacht rock stuff. And I don't know if you know what yacht rock is. Do you know what yacht
I
rock
don't.
is?
No.
So years ago, there was a guys who made a short film on YouTube called Yacht Rock, and they made this whole fictitious thing about Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald getting into like a big war, and Hall and Oates gets involved, and they're writing like all these yacht rocks, these songs about being on boats.
Smooth.
So Christopher Cross sailing. So it became a genre name, and now they like on Sirius Satellite Channel 311. You'll hear like Reminiscing from Little River Band and, all the Seals and Crofts, England Dan and John Ford Coley, Ambrosia, which, by the way, those guys are all from really close to where you are right now. They're all like Palos Verdes guys, South Bay, Ambrosia. So it's a real, so we do all that. We do like the whole, we wear the captain's hat, like the Daryl Dragon captain's hat from Captain and Tennille. And we play like the cheesiest 70s, and it's a blast. People love it.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's on my channel. We filmed it live. We went live last night with it, and we play every Saturday. So I'll probably end up going live again, but we got to add a few more tunes. We have enough different songs that we play. People call off songs and we're like, yeah, if we can wing it, we'll wing it. But we try to play it pretty close. Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast. So you have this movie you're filming in February. Is that what you're doing?
Filming in February. I think they might start end of January, but I'm more towards the end of February working up in Redding, California.
Right.
So
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be interesting. Yeah.
And that's going to be what, slated for the end of the year or something, or even
Probably,
next year?
yeah. It'll take them a while to edit it and get it all together. So I wouldn't imagine it would come out until end of summer, end of year, probably. Yeah.
Right. All right, Joe. Any more questions for you, my friend? Giving you the floor.
I was looking at all the movies, and
Well, I was going to ask, who was the most memorable person you ever worked with? I'm going to guess it's John Carpenter, right? If I'm wrong, tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I would think that's true. Yeah. That was really special because that was a big role for me and one of my first. And that picture I showed you of him directing, he taught me a lot. He was not just a director. He worked with us individually, each of us. We were all young, and he just helped us along, but made it feel like we were discovering it. That's the gift of a true director, to let you just inspire you, light your fire, and you go, oh, I know how to do this. And he was definitely taught me less is more, because I had a lot of reaction to this green liquid thing that I saw in the church basement. And at first it was like, it was just no. And then I had this whole scene where it comes at me and the glasses get knocked off and I turn around. He just let me go on that. He gave me some direction, but it was so much fun because it felt like it was my own creation. It wasn't, it was John,
Right.
but I got to bring something to the party. It was like he made it collaborative. Like everybody felt like they were like making something together. It was a true ensemble. And that's rare. I mean, that's a gift. And John has that, he's a cool guy. He's a great director. Probably one of the top directors I ever worked with. Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
That scene is iconic because you have to, the way you portrayed getting blasted by that stuff, because that's one of those things where you could only imagine what the liquid of Lucifer would, do to the senses. And it was like, whatever you were
just
going
wanted
through,
it out, right?
really
Oh my
sold
God.
it.
Yeah.
If you were a wrestler, that would have been a perfect sell.
Yep. Wrestling with
My
the liquid.
other favorite part of the movie is when she's crawling up on the other girl, and the other
I like
girl's
that too.
And one moment she's like, "No, I don't drive down that street," and it's like, "Oh, you're about to."
We called that my lesbian scene. That was fun.
Yeah, you're kind of wondering what's going to happen there. It's like. And now something really quick too. Go back to 1987, I believe, when Prince of Darkness came out. Music. What were you listening to then? I know you're into folk now, but what? Cyndi Lauper, Madonna.
Yeah, probably. Right. That's hard to remember. Do you guys remember all that? The kind of music you listen to, like?
Oh yeah,
We're still listening to it. We haven't grown up.
Oh, that's it.
Listening to it.
That's funny.
Wait, I was reading on the IMDb just now. You graduated from a Catholic high school?
I did. Assumption High School in Davenport, Iowa.
I graduated from Holy Cross in Flushing, Queens.
Really?
Yeah, it was
another
an
Catholic, nice Catholic boy.
Yeah, it was an all-boys school. Now there's, when the alumni letter comes, I guess to keep it open, they had to let girls in. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
You went
I
to
would
an
have
all
never
boys.
graduated if there was girls to look at. There was nothing but boys to look at, and there was no interest in that. So I barely eked out graduation out of high school.
Well, Catholic school.
Is that where you grew up in Davenport?
Rulers, yeah, Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah.
And that's what, right off is it the 70? What's that freeway that goes?
80.
It's the 80.
And the
Okay,
Mississippi River is right there. Yeah, 80 just goes straight across. Yep.
Right, because when I drove from, you go to Lincoln, Nebraska to Omaha, and then you go right into
fun
Iowa.
drive.
Oh, it's awful.
The most exciting drive, isn't it, Dave?
It's the worst.
It's
Well,
the
I've driven
worst. And it smells.
I've driven
Manure
cross country.
cornfield,
Yeah. Oh no, you know what's worst is going through like the 40 through Texas. After Amarillo, you go through Hereford, Texas, and it's like,
yes,
right.
We were there.
It's almost like that. What's the Kentucky Fried Movie? Harry's still smoking those cigars. Did a cow shit in here? It is like, it's like everyone's checking the bottom of your feet while you're driving through that town. It's like, God, this place
we
just
have an
smells like.
equivalent of that in New York, driving to Staten Island. Because it's all dumps that they buried, but you can bury garbage, but you can't go deep enough. And you literally drive for about a mile like this.
Oh,
it's comical. It really is comical.
I live in
like
Hereford, Texas. You're seeing signs for the
like,
5-ounce, the 5-pound steak signs. There's that restaurant that you can buy the 5-pound steak, and it's like, and you're driving, and all you can smell is manure, and you're like, I don't think I could eat any steak at this moment. I've had enough. I'm eating steak manure at the moment. Yeah, it's it's brutal. It is brutal. Very nice. So now you went to New York because you left LA for a while.
Yeah.
You went to New York.
I did.
And
back to New York. Well, back to New York because I grew up in Iowa, moved to New York, studied acting in New York, and fell into commercials and movies, and I feel like I was mean, I knew what I wanted, so I worked really hard. But looking back on it, I was lucky too. I mean, I got some nice breaks, doing some great films, and it would have been, it's nice to keep. I'm still here. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm still here. It's 40 years later. I mean, that's a long time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know where Dune, Iowa is?
Dune?
Yeah,
Nope.
someone says you want to talk about a small town. His mom is from
What is
Dune,
it close to?
Iowa.
Tell me what it's close to.
Tom, you know what? A population is 619.
Close to a cornfield.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, and I also lived in Ottumwa for many years, so that's even smaller, way smaller than Davenport.
Ottumwa?
Ottumwa, Iowa, yeah.
Wow.
That's where, Raider O'Reilly and Tom Arnold and Roseanne Barr had a restaurant there.
Oh,
that
really?
didn't stay open very long during the time they were married. Yeah.
What did Gary Berghoff? Was he from there?
What's that?
Was Gary Berghoff from there? And you said Radar O'Reilly, or his character was?
Oh, I'm sorry. Cloris Leachman was from there too, right? I think was it his character? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Radar O'Reilly. Can you look that up for us? Yeah. He's been looking things. It's like I have my own research
guy there.
That's awesome.
I'm out of a job.
Oh,
why is that what you're doing too?
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be doing research, but
Ben Tom says that Dune, Iowa is in the northwest corner of the state.
Northwest corner. Yeah, that's so Ottumwa and Davenport are in the southeast corner. So that's completely a complete opposite direction, which is probably why I haven't heard of it.
Right.
Who's from Ottumwa? Raider O'Reilly's from Ottumwa.
Oh, okay.
The actual
Berghoff. Yeah, because I think he lived. I don't know if he lived in Venice, but I believe that he was training at Gold's in Venice for a while.
The movie.
In the show, he was.
In the show, yeah.
The character was. Got it. Oh, okay. I thought you meant Gary Berghoff himself.
No. The character.
Gary Berghoff is from Bristol, Connecticut.
He's from Bristol, Connecticut.
Oh, very
Gary.
good.
Yeah.
That I've been.
If you need an extra researcher. Brad's an attorney.
We need these details. Now, if we can just zero in and Google Earth and zoom in on Gary Berghoff's childhood home, we'll be all right.
High in the yard.
I got to tell the story of the first time I saw Prince of Darkness.
Oh,
Okay.
It's 1988, right? I think it had come out. I remember seeing the commercial for it, and my mind was blown because anytime any kind of John Carpenter horror movie was coming out, it was like, oh, get me there. But I lived in a town that we didn't have good movies. It was like, well, shit. So one night, it's 3 a.m. I'm in I lived in the basement in the house. My parents finished the basement, and I'm in the basement, which was a creepy ass basement. It was one of those basements where you'd be in there for a few minutes and you'd realize I'm in the basement, and you'd run out as a kid. You'd run out in terror. But it's a little bit better now. I'm doing once more around the channels at 3 a.m. You know how you do that once more with the remote?
Yeah.
Starting on HBO. Coming up next, John Carpenter's The Prince of Darkness. I was like, oh, I wanted to watch this. I'm glued to the TV the entire movie. When it ends, I'm sitting on my bed like this. And literally, it was like something out of a comedy. I stop right after the credits finish. I jump out of the bed. Now the bedroom had 4 switches to turn the lights off. I did a chop, hit all 4 of them. Next thing you know, I'm in my dad's bedroom, and I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna sleep in here tonight. And I'm like 20 years old. That movie scared the shit out of me. You look at it now. When these two just saw it, they don't really. Yeah, well, now it's 2021, stuff like that. You laugh at it. But I'm like 19, 20 years old. When I saw that, I was like, especially with all that religious,
I know. I was just going to ask you, did you get all of that?
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah.
Yes. And I get it even more now. I worked for a Catholic church for over 10 years. So, at one point I went back to the movie and I'm like, well, that's theologically retarded right there. But, I appreciate it because you think, okay, this is a separate universe and don't let stuff ruin that for you. But yeah, the first time, that's one of those memories when you first see a movie, you'll never forget. And that was probably the most unique horror movie experience I had ever had. I ran out of that room faster than the Flash could run. I passed the Flash on the stairway upstairs.
Now,
How
who was
fast
the
I
lead
left that.
character in the movie? What was the actor's name?
Jameson Parker.
Innocent Parker.
His mustache scared me more than the green
Oh,
It
fluid.
did. Was that
There's
the worst
good
mustache?
mustaches in that
It's
movie.
That was the
horrendous.
mid-'80s.
It's horrendous. I saw that mustache. I'm like, if the monster's as scary as this is going to be the scariest movie ever. And I was like, that's just green fluid.
And
Forget it.
I think I had shoulder pads. It speaks to the date, kind of the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
being a little bit
Oh, yeah.
dated,
Oh,
but
yeah. The hair.
it has
Your
a
hair
big-
go boofy.
hair. I know the hair was crazy.
Yeah.
But it has a big cult following to this day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sometimes, even recently, I've been asked to come and speak, sit on the panel and let the audience ask questions. And they always ask about the spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
They want to know, like, what did this mean? What was the meaning of the bugs? And, what was the substance supposed to be? And like,
Well, the bugs is
you've
actually
already
pretty
concocted your
smart
own.
because in Catholicism, when there is a possession or a demonic obsession presence, there is one of the beginning signs is called infestation. Like you see in the original Amityville Horror, they had, remember, all the flies and things like that. So a lot of people will hear scratching in the walls, and a lot of it could always be practical. Like there may be a bleeping rat in the wall, but it may be the biggest rat of them all that fell from heaven. It's all what your faith believes and what it actually is.
Yeah, but I honestly think that, and this is just my opinion, I always thought like that he just kind of like, you think whatever the liquid is, it's more scary if you have to come up with it in your own mind instead of them telling you this is this is what it is. I mean, it's like, what is it? And
but
it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it.
It's 1987. They was still primarily practical effects. Because
the mirror. How about the hand in the going through the mirror?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, that's the
really
thing that
creepy.
freaked me out. That transmission that keeps coming back in the dream,
Yes.
part by part, and then when you see it at the end, and you just see the shape. He knew
that
how to do the less is more. It's like let their viewers' imagination scare the shit out of them instead of me trying to make a big boogeyman that's going to do it. It's like the same thing with Michael Myers. There's really nothing to that character, but he's unstoppable. And he's very bland looking. It's just a green jumpsuit, the white mask, and he just doesn't stop. And it's terrifying.
But it's the William
Instead
Shatner
of,
mask is why it's scary.
How much did you interact with Donald Pleasance?
Quite a bit. He was on the set. He was around because he was in charge of all the kids. So we were all there in the same room often, and then we'd go off and do our projects of trying to discover. Everybody had their area of specialty, radiologist. So we were all trying to figure it out in our own separate little areas. But when we were together as a group, Donald was around quite a bit, and he was a really nice man. Yeah,
a film legend.
It was just such a nice set to work on. I mean, everybody was. It was such a great tight ensemble. How long did it take to film
the whole movie?
What's that?
How long did it take to film the whole movie?
Oh, like 4 weeks. It went fast.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
That's a shoot.
This question I have is for Joe. Joe, if I were on a set with Donald Pleasance, do you know what questions I'd be asking him?
No, what?
I'd only be asking about working on that Columbo episode.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
When he kills his brother and he owns the vineyard. I'm a huge Columbo fan.
That and Cannon.
Cannon and Columbo, the two greatest shows of all time.
Columbo, Peter Falk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with him on a play. We did a play reading together.
Oh, really?
Talk about
what was the play?
A nice guy. Oh, my God. I loved him.
My mother loved him.
Love
the
him.
Best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. And Jenna
Just
Rollins. Yeah.
What's that?
Jenna Rollins was
one more thing.
Jenna Rollins was in it with him too?
She was in the play reading with them too. And I remember hugging, getting a hug from her. She gave me a hug, it was so nice working with you. She was lovely. And I remember she smelled, her skin was just porcelain and she smelled like my grandma. And it was just like, oh.
She was also on an episode of Columbo.
Yeah. Oh, was she? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they were friends. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Even Jamie Lee Curtis was on Columbo.
Was she?
Here we go.
Play a
Yeah,
waitress.
she was the
Wow.
waitress at the what's Encounter. Remember the restaurant Encounter at the
With
airport?
the one at LAX?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that. It's not there anymore. I don't think they call it that anymore.
No. It's changed now, but it used to be called Encounter. Like
Yeah,
there's a
I was
couple
there.
of
I've
times
been
where
there.
Columbo filmed there. They filmed some of the waiter scenes at Encounter. You can always tell because it's like you can see their background. They must have knew the manager there, or it was like open enough that.
Oh, that's funny.
Is that place still there? You know that restaurant that's on like I think it's. Is it Johnny's? It's like a fake restaurant they use for.
Yeah. You mean on Sunset? Well, it's over by Wilshire Sunset, whatever.
It's right by Miracle Mile, right before the Miracle Mile.
Yeah.
It's on
still
Wilshire.
there.
Yeah. Oh, it
Yeah.
is. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It gets lit up like every night. They light it up like it's open, but it's just a prop.
Exactly.
It's
think
great.
it's still
Only
there.
in LA, right? You know what
What's
else
that?
I think is like that too is I think Ray's in Santa Monica's like that too,
Yes.
right? Because I know they filmed the Shaken video there for Eddie Money.
Isn't
filmed
Ray's over by McCabe's?
Yes, it's before It's like 30. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
very
just bought
good,
my
yeah.
newest ukulele there.
Oh,
from
you
McCabe's.
did?
Mhm.
Yeah. I like McCabe's. McCabe's is cool.
I do too.
Is that where you got your guitar too, or did you get your guitar at West LA?
I got my West L. No, didn't get it at West LA. Did I get it? I go to
McCabe?
Boulevard Music a lot too. I knew Gary really well there.
Sure. Oh, yeah. I know Boulevard.
But I think I bought it at Did I buy it at McCabe? I think I got it at McCabe's.
Yeah, it's very possible because they were a big Taylor dealer. But Boulevard
Yeah.
was also a Taylor dealer.
Yes, and I took class. I studied with Gary for a while, and then I played there. They did the open mic nights with the.
Yes.
Yeah, I played there. I played like 2 originals that I had written and invited my family and everything.
Oh, that's so
It wasn't
cool.
an open mic night. It was actually it was planned. Like everybody knew what they were doing and how many songs they were singing from his students or something.
Now, do you remember a song it's in the mid 70s? Maybe Brad will remember. Song was called Junk Food Junkie.
Yeah. Junk Food Junkie? Nope.
And it's
Sing
like,
it for
and I
us,
pulled
Dave.
out a Hostess Twinkie and I popped it in my mouth, right? It was all about health foods and how this guy at night was a junk food junkie. That was recorded at McCabe's.
Oh, wow.
It was like a live recording from McCabe's that became a hit record.
Yeah, because they do music night. They do some nights there too. Boulevard and McCabe's. They all have those nights of really. I've been to some really good. Yeah, seen some
Well,
really
at
good.
West LA, we used to do the clinics outside across the street. They had that open park. We had Joe Satriani perform there, and like Dave Lombardo from Slayer came down and played, and Kerry King. So but it wasn't really like a lot of shows. It was more showcasing just their talent and what like clinics for the companies. But
Oh yeah.
but McCabe's always had live music. In fact, I think the Wilson sisters, like Nancy Wilson, I think used to perform at McCabe's.
Oh wow. Do you guys play together? Do you play music together, the 3 of you?
No.
No.
Joe's down in Florida. He's in Orlando.
Oh, okay. You're in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right. And Krell Bar is in Rhode Island. We grab lunch together on Sundays, then we go smoke cigars down in Pawtucket. But other than that, we don't really play.
Next time I'm in Vermont, we'll have to get together. I'm not that far.
Absolutely.
Cigars.
So, I'd love to play with you and Brad. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Come to see our house, our little
Yeah.
cabin in the woods in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you guys, or if I'm performing anywhere near you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It would be so cool. Then you guys could come up and play.
That'd be
We
very
do-
cool. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. We do so much. Like I play every Saturday, and for the next few weeks, I'm playing every Friday as well, and some Thursdays, just because it's getting like the Christmas time everyone wants.
Oh,
They
nice.
have their own party. Yeah, it's good. It's a good time.
In Massachusetts, we're close to where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we play in Plymouth every Saturday, which is, like I don't know if are you familiar with this area at all? With Massachusetts at all, or not really?
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah, we play like a half a mile from where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. It's literally right up the street.
Nice.
You go
Hey,
there
is
and
it
there's this
cold?
little-
Is it cold and rainy there now?
Yeah, it was cold today. Wasn't horribly cold.
Snowed a little bit.
Yeah, it was flurrying a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
it
snow?
sucks.
A little bit of snow?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now, how
Not in
far up?
Orlando, though.
How
Not for
far up?
Joe.
Yeah, no, never for Joe.
Not
Joe's
in
like
California.
when it gets to 50 degrees and windy, Joe's complaining. No, actually, he likes it colder. He doesn't like the heat.
Dying right now when it's 50 out.
Yeah.
Dying in here.
I like that. I like it a little colder too. I'm with you.
No, I've always loved the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always says, tell your Munsters bit, Joe.
Oh, the reason that I love bad weather. When I was a kid, my mother wouldn't drive if it was raining too hard or if it was snowing, she wouldn't drive. And I grew up watching the Munsters and the Addams Family. There's literally a famous scene where Lily Munster's by the window, and it's like the most evil storm outside. She goes, "Oh, what a beautiful night." Or they would go outside moon bathing instead of sunbathing. If you look at my vlog later, Dave,
Yeah.
I go to sleep this morning and I go outside to show the sun coming up. And I say, what a beautiful sunrise Orlando's about to have. And I hate it. And I'm going into my coffin now like a vampire.
Right.
That's in tonight's vlog.
I'll definitely
I'm not
watch
a big
it.
fan of the sun or the warm weather or any of that. No, never have.
So when Car 54 ended, the TV show, Al Lewis and Fred Gwynn were offered the Munsters and the whole premise of the show. And they talked to them about the characters and everything. And they said, we're going to get, now who played Lily? Yvonne DiCarlo, is that her name?
Yeah.
We're going to get Yvonne DiCarlo. And they knew her as a voluptuous actress model. And they were adamant. They were like, do not get her. She won't be funny. It won't work. And they're like, and the producer was like, no, I've met her. And I think you guys will like her. They're like, no way. And Al Lewis tells the story how he was just like, they were getting angry about it. They were like, don't bring her in. We have a great idea for the show. Anyway, she came in to do a read with them and they were like, she's perfect. They like completely 180 and said, she's the funniest person on the show and we suck. It was really funny.
Most of the time she was. Most of the time
she was great.
Yeah.
She was great. But she really, talk about somebody coming in and everyone having preconceived of what they're expecting, and she just blew them away. And I just think that's an awesome story, especially when I love all the old TV, like the Car 54 to me is like, I think Car 54 was the funniest show on TV until Seinfeld. Because I think Seinfeld.
I caught a couple episodes of Seinfeld last night. I was dying. I was still not. I'm still getting over this COVID crap, so it hurts to laugh. And I'm just like punching the couch. It was the Ass Man.
Right.
The Ass
Great
Man
episode
was odd. And then there was the one with the move where what's his name steals the move from Jerry.
Oh, it's
unbelievable.
Not from Jerry's. It's Kramer and Frank Costanza. The stopping short, the move. That's the Ass Man episode.
But it was Dave Putty that stole Jerry's move.
Oh,
and
right.
then Jerry tells him, don't use the move. And then Dave Putty's like, you know what? Next time your car breaks down, take that out of town.
Right. I'll tell you what's great is those shows never had a serious episode. Car 54, Seinfeld. When you're watching a show like when I grew up, and everyone on the show knows this about me because I beat this with a dead horse, like a dead horse. But I cannot stand a comedy that has the Norman Lear bullshit of let's have a serious episode. It's like I'm watching The Facts of Life as a little kid. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not watching it because I think the girls are attractive, because I didn't. I'm watching it. First of all, the genius of Charlotte Rae. When she was on Car 54, Charlotte Rae is a genius. But she was funny on this show. I want to laugh. There's a rape episode. And the only thing they have that's funny about it was Natalie was the girl who was raped.
Oh my God!
Thank you, folks. I'm here all week. It's a great bit.
That's awful.
Try.
Now wait a minute. Let me. Anne-Marie,
honestly, it's like, come on. I'm a little kid. Do I want to see? Oh, this is what I have to see. Or like the Julie on One Day at a Time is doing drugs, or some JJ's girlfriend shooting heroin on Good Times. I'm like, I'm a little kid here. I want to laugh.
You know how you make fun of me, Dave, going, the Incredible Hulk will not be seen this week. What Dave needed to hear was he's going to play it. Go ahead and play it, and then I'll talk.
How do you know I'm going to play it?
Because I see you moving for it.
The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Before you go, Joe, I just want to say that how Seinfeld got around it is that there were a lot of serious episodes. They just didn't treat them seriously.
Yeah.
Susan,
That's what humor is.
and people had cancer and stuff like that, but they didn't treat it as a serious.
Yeah. Well, the definition of humor used to be, to treat lightly a serious situation, but everything is serious now, and no one can laugh at themselves. No one can. Anne Marie, what kind of shows did you like growing up?
Growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Brady Bunch and leave?
But there had to be something you saw that made you think, I want to be an actress.
Oh, gosh, I wanted to be an actress since I was 4 years old, and I was on stage for the first time. I was in the musical Carousel, and I played the youngest of Mr. and Mrs. Snow's children. And in real life, I'm the oldest of 5. So as the youngest, I got a lot of attention, and I loved singing and dancing. And my mom started me in dance class when I was 4 years old because she said I walked like an elephant because I had like flat feet, and we were going to take care of that. So I'd be this feminine, girl. And it did help. Ballet helped a lot.
I love your mom already.
I know. She's great. I love my mom.
You get going to a class. Yeah. You walk like an elephant.
Yeah. Well, I don't anymore because of my mom. So that's good.
Real quickly, by the way, this is one of my favorite episodes.
Jan, we're really sorry. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Will you come back to the party with us, please?
Pamela Fergie.
We didn't mean to hurt your
So
feelings. Isn't it unbelievable? Do you remember that was the new Jan when she showed up at the party with the big black curly wig? Everybody, the new Jan, and they all started laughing at her, and she just ripped it off and ran home.
Love that show.
It was the best. That
Yeah.
and the Phil Packer episode.
So I was saying what Dave hates is, the way that hearing about the Incredible Hulk now being on. Dave, when you heard this week on A Very Special Blossom, what did that murder you? Because comedies shouldn't have a very special anything.
Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to be told, "Oh, this one's going to be about drugs." I'm watching Good Times. I don't want to see Janet Jackson being abused.
But
I can go to her house and see that with her father.
Let me agree with you, and let me tell you why you're right. Let me tell you why
Come
you're
on,
right.
guys.
That's not getting the credit. Yeah, that could no.
I should be getting applause
I
at
need
that
a
one.
food button.
No,
I need a food button to go.
agreeing
Ooh.
I can watch Joe Jackson beat her offset. What am I going to sit there and watch Wallona's rescue this girl? No, but seriously, as a kid, I don't want to see that. I want to see JJ, or I want to see what's happening.
Damn.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Esther Raleigh or Esther Roll, whatever her name was. When James quit the show because he thought the show should be serious. Do you remember that when James left the show and then he died?
And
one of my all-time favorite scenes is Esther Roll exploding at the realization that James is dead. Now, when I first moved to LA, I worked at Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, God.
And somebody had told me it was right around the time when Esther Roll had passed. And they were like, she came in not too long ago. And I said, really? How was that? And he's like, she said, how's the soup today? He says, it's good. She goes, well, if it isn't hot, we is waltzing. And that's my favorite Esther Roll story of all time.
Wow. Okay.
She'll be remembered a lifetime for that. She's acted. She's in over 400 films. She's done TV for 30 years. She'll be remembered for
Hot soup.
If the soup ain't hot, we is waltzing. Come on, that's unbelievable.
Easy too.
Yeah, it's going. I'm trying not to laugh. Whatever I got to do, I can't laugh.
Try not to hit the cricket button.
I'm going to run really quick and check on Mikey. I'll be right back.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Excellent. Well, he cares for like a handicapped guy.
Yeah, special needs.
Yeah, special needs, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you went to check on him.
Yeah.
Me, what I have to do is I have a cat that normally jumps up in front of the camera, and she's been hammering at this door. So if you see me hitting mute and I'm turning, I'm going
Yeah.
Yelling at the cat.
at the door. Because she just takes control over the show if I don't. I mean,
Oh.
she literally jumps up, gets in front of the camera,
Oh, wow.
and she's out of control. So
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad you came on for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah, it was a real pleasure
I'd
meeting
love to hear some music sometime. You and Brad should like put some stuff on your YouTube of you playing and performing. I'd love to hear some of your songs too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do that. We keep saying we're going to do it and then, get busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, over the
because, like,
holiday.
because I mean, you talked about like my lesson I did with Emily of Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah,
We did a bunch of performance nights during COVID where we actually just performed songs down. We did a Bee Gees night. We sat and played all Bee Gees songs.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and mainly all the songs that I taught on the channel, like Night Fever and Emotion and Too Much Heaven,
Oh, my
Fanny
God.
Be Tender. Yeah, I love
Very
those.
fun.
Yeah. Oh, and there was a couple of Andy Gibb songs that Barry wrote, and then we did Guilty with Barbara Streisand and Barry.
Oh,
Yeah, but what was the Andy Gibb one? I Just Want to Be Your Everything. You remember that one? Darling, for so long, you and me, we got each other for so long.
yeah.
And what was the don't throw it all away, I love my love. Don't throw it all away, I love.
Yeah, that's good.
It's those songs. Like, see, what happened to songs that that just make you smile?
I know.
Today, I hear a song like in maybe I hate when people say like, is it because I'm old? Like I hear that song "Shallow" and I'm like, I don't get it. I just
Oh,
don't
we
get
can play
it.
that on our guitars pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get it.
I know you
Musically,
don't
it
get
doesn't. It
Well, because
doesn't
the
move.
words don't make sense, but it's a good song. It's a good
But
song.
it doesn't move me. It doesn't. It's not like if I was to sit and play. Could it be I'm falling in love with you, baby? With you, there's something about those that the second you hear it, you're grinning ear to ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're catchy. There's something in the
Yeah, there's something about it that makes. Pam Sylvia says in the chat she loves Nip Tuck.
Oh,
Now
that was a good
you were
show.
you were on that show. I saw that scene there. That was a pretty funny scene. You post some bold stuff on your YouTube stuff, like even your clips. It's like there's some racy stuff. I think it's funny.
That's the first thing I searched, and it's like, the first thing we saw was colonoscopy, and then this and this. And I go, wow, she's pretty down to earth.
That's me. Yep.
It's like
down to earth. Yeah.
Down to earth.
Here I am shitting my pants. Oh, okay, that's good.
replete with sound effects too.
Right.
I
Oh,
know.
God.
Gotta love the sound effects.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it was one of my worst experiences. The guy, it was just like
The colonoscopy.
Well,
Have you
I
only
was
had-
awake for my first one.
You
what's
what?
that?
Demerol, and I was awake during the whole thing. I was joking through the whole thing.
No.
Into the jokes I had. I mean, I literally turned to the doctor and said, just as long as you want, I don't look behind and your hands are up here.
I would also like to say that Crowbar's colonoscopy was performed
I'm
at
too
Rage.
straight, it's
on
like,
Santa Monica
oh,
Boulevard.
it's my favorite film, Journey to the Center of my Anus. It's like, I'm cracking jokes with them. But then, I told them afterwards, I was awake for it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, he
You
was
weren't
awake
in
for it
pain,
because it was at the restroom of the Motherlode on Santa Monica Boulevard.
They
Santa
really
Monica Boulevard in WeHo. Yeah, of course you were awake.
They wheel you out in front of these pretty nurses and they say, well, we know you're full of air, so just let loose and stuff. No, I'm not going to do that in front of you. It's like, I'm going to wait until you're gone.
That's what they did that at Mickey's.
What, Dave?
I said they did that at Mickey's. That's how they did it at Trunks. Just throwing out every gay club on when you ever go down like Santa Monica Boulevard. It's like Trunks, the Motherlode, Mickey's,
Ramrods.
Well,
That was in New York, wasn't it?
well, there was one in Boston, I think, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, so funny. Unbelievable.
It's scary that you know the names of them all, though, Dave.
Oh, because
Exactly,
it's just material. There's a what's the comedian Paul F. Tompkins? Do you know who he is?
That name
a
sounds familiar.
He's a
Yeah, I know.
comedian. He's also in The Pick of Destiny with Tenacious D.
I've seen that.
But he
so I'm
does a
trying to
great
remember.
bit where he talks about the store Elegant Balloons. Elegant Balloons, like there's a place on Santa Monica Boulevard over there called that. And he just does a whole bit on it. It's really funny. But
Funny,
yeah, all
yeah.
those places when you drive down there.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. Rich is in the chat and says yes. There
Oh,
is a
he was the
landlord involved.
doorman.
Who?
Doorman for the comedy club in Pick a Destiny.
Yeah, he was the MC.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he's also on Riff Tracks. They have him as a guest. Have you seen Riff Tracks at all?
Mm-mm.
And you remember
have not.
Mystery Science Theater? Do you remember Mystery Science Theater? The guy with the two robots and they watch old bad movies and talk over the movie.
Oh no, that sounds fun.
Oh, do you have streaming? Do you have streaming TV at your place?
Yeah.
Download the
Writing it down.
what's the name of that app that I like, Krell? Begins with a
Roku.
P. No,
oh,
the app that I watch. Why am I blanking on it?
Pluto TV.
Pluto. Download Pluto TV app.
Okay.
There's a channel for MST3K and Riff
24/7.
Tracks. And it's 24/7. And they just watch, like they did one on Dreamscape, where they watch Dreamscape and they're just ripping on the movie. Like, do you remember Dreamscape at all? It was Dennis Quaid.
Oh yeah.
The bad guy in it was, the person who played the killer was David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boys, come out and play.
So they have a scene where they're like, it's like a sleep deprivation thing, and they're looking at a room. It looks like a recording studio. And so the guy's like, "Are we ready to bring in the people?" The guy turns around, and one of the guys on Riff Tracks goes, "Yeah, I'm just mixing this record. Let me finish." They talk over the film and say things that you
That's
would
funny.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
I'll check it
thanks,
out.
Pam. Yeah. Oh,
Well, you
it's
saw MST3K before when it was on Comedy Central years ago.
It used to be. Well, she may recognize when she sees it, but I know a lot of people that don't know it. I know, but we'll just wait till Joe gets back, and then
Yeah, because if you leave,
you want to keep hanging out,
you
because
have to
I know,
console
that'll
him
be bad.
all week.
what's that?
If she leaves before he gets back, we're going to have to console him all week.
Oh
So-
yeah.
So hurry up, Joe.
So what's next for you guys? Do you have another show coming up with other guests and stuff?
Oh yeah. So next week we have this guy Scott Kay, who is a builder of guitar effect pedals, who has a company called BMF Effects. He's based out of South. I think he's in Hermosa.
Oh, Beach?
Yeah.
Oh, right by me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's
because
cool.
I met him when I was managing Alva's in San Pedro, and then the week after that, Tim Kimber is coming on this show. He is a musician, songwriter, but also he's one of the co-founders of Gold's Gym Enterprises. When they made Gold's Gym the household name, basically around 1980, he was one of the co-founders. So he'll be on in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then 3 weeks, we have the maker of an amplifier company called Vintage Sound Amps. The guy's name is Rick Hayes, and he's going to come talk about his amps. And then after that, Ken Haas from Reverend Guitars is coming on.
Oh, wow.
And I've reached out to Louis Lombardi, which I know you know Louis. You know Louis, right?
I think so.
Bald actor, was on The Sopranos, heavy New York accent,
Oh, yeah.
great guy.
Yeah, of course.
Louis.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get Louis to come on, because I used to go out to eat with Louis all the time. He was a staple on Main Street in Santa Monica. We used to hang a lot.
Oh, huh.
And then I'm also trying to I reached out to Lee Carreri. Do you know Lee? He was Bruno in Fame.
Oh,
but
yes,
he's,
yes. Oh,
but
my
he's
gosh.
I did a lot of work for him. He's a producer, and I was a session guy for him. So,
Wow.
yeah. And then And then there's a guy, Stephen Fryette, who'll come in. I don't know when he's going to come, though, because he said the first few months of the year we're going to be busy. So, but yeah, well, I'm booking as much as, at least 3 or 4 weeks in advance. I'm ahead.
Nice. Gosh. What a life.
Yeah.
You're just like pulling in everybody that you've met and you're.
Yeah, and worked with. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Plus, people get a little insight, like I said, it was serendipitous because I'm watching that movie and I'm like, wait a minute, why do I know this?
Right.
Seriously,
That reaction that Joe had to the film, that was common then. But you guys, you saw it just recently, so it's just so different, to see it now versus then when it first came out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because the 80s were great. And, I can go back there and everything that came, especially you had Alice Cooper in there. The big thing was throwing a rock star in a film.
Yeah.
So when they appear, it's like, ooh, that's Alice Cooper. Ooh, they did
and
that
it's
a
like
lot.
for a moment, and it's like blink,
Yeah.
But he's
Are you a fan of The Shining at all?
Yep.
I do a whole analysis breakdown on my channel of The Shining.
Love it.
Because I have a theory about the film.
Okay.
Because I believe that Stanley Kubrick, more than believe, but I think the movie is a lot less scary in the actual what's going on in the film. But the scary part is you don't know what's going on in the film.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've taken many quotes out where Stanley Kubrick doesn't believe in ghosts, doesn't believe in any of that stuff. And, he had like a 200 something IQ. So everything was like a puzzle. He liked puzzles. And there were things in the movie, and I show it in this breakdown, that the movie is mainly him writing a book. And you go from reality to what's going on in the book. It's a parallel because he's writing it about himself in the book. But there are things that happen. Like in the beginning, he's on a typewriter. He's on this little white typewriter. Later, when he's writing and he's the character writing in the book, he's writing on this big black typewriter. Well, why did the typewriter change?
Oh, that's interesting.
So there's things that are scary because you don't realize, but when you look and break down the movie, it really just comes down to he's writing and early on in the movie and I forget the guy's name, and I really should remember his name, the actor that plays Stu Allman. God, he's great. He's on Password from the 70s. I recognize him from Password. That's how pathetic I am. In my house, we see actors and we're like, that person's on Match Game. That person's it's Match Game and Password. Yeah. In fact, real quickly, funny story. A girl that we grew up with when I was very little came and visited my folks, and we all got together and hung out with them. And they were like, the only thing we really remember was coming over and Match Game was always on. I'm like, yep, that was
after school. It used to come on right after school.
Gene Rayburn.
But clock around, yeah.
But anyway, Stu Allman, he tells him about the guy's name who killed his kids, years ago. He tells the story. But the story gets a little twisted when he's writing it. He's borrowing parts from it. And that's why it's not the same name when he sees the ghost in the bathroom, because he's writing the character from what he was told.
Yeah, people don't remember things exactly. So when it's on screen, when he's creating this and stuff, he's just creating what his memory, and the memory's going to forget things. So a lot of people look at it and think it's a continuity error, but like Dave brings up in it is that, Kubrick doesn't do anything by accident, and he doesn't make mistakes like that. So it's
no, but one of the continuity errors
very good.
that people say is one of the continuity errors that people look at. It doesn't make sense because everything was filmed in a soundstage, but outside the office, there's no light switch. When later in the movie, when he goes in and he's going crazy, there's a light switch on the outside of the office. Well, why would they put a light switch there? Because he's writing the scene, and that's how he remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You got to see my analysis. I think it's good.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
I'm standing by it. I'm standing by it. And there's a couple of jokes in there that are really funny.
Yeah, and get the cricket button.
Oh, no, there was. I'm not going to give them away, but there's.
I can't remember what the jokes were.
One was about Danny's his hair in the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll just say it. There was a scene where they show Danny's in the scene, and there's Kool-Aid above the guy's head, and I said, this Kool-Aid's there to tell you, don't buy the Kool-Aid. It's not a real scene. Unfortunately, that is a real haircut.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
A real good one is Dr. Grande. He actually psychoanalyzes like things, but sometimes he does some light.
How dare you plug another channel? How dare you?
come
No,
on.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But anyways, the one he does on the Amityville Horror is hilarious because he does it with a straight face. And he talks about everything that happens in there, and he just deadpans all this humor, and I thought it was hilarious.
Hilarious.
And another channel.
Oh, here we go. No.
Sorry.
Joe, welcome back.
Hey,
All
Joe.
Joe, say goodbye.
I feel like we've kept Ian very long time here, and then you went and ran
It was
off
fun, you guys. It was great to be here with you.
we're
Hey,
so
Joe,
glad
did
you
you have
came
any-
on.
Any more
Right.
questions
I
about?
have one question. Like, do you have like, well, you're a star. You have 8x10s that you autograph, and you have any from Prince of Darkness?
From Prince of Darkness. I think the only one I have is this one that I showed you guys.
Oh.
He
think
wants
that's
it.
it.
He wants it now.
Oh,
Sign it.
no, I
Send it
didn't
to
know.
him.
It's the only one I have.
I'll find something you could sign.
But I'll
for me.
find, yeah, we'll find something. I do have a press kit. I think it's back in Vermont, so it might be a couple months, but before I get back there. But
I'll receive a bottle of liquid in the mail. She goes, here, I spit this out. Have
Yeah, I
some
was gonna
Satan
say
juice.
usually actresses kiss photos with lipstick, and she goes, "Bleh." Here you go.
it'll have water. You won't even know what picture it is because it'll have like green water all over.
I always thought
What was that other guy's name? Ken something? What was the Asian guy's name? He was in a lot of stuff for a
he's
while.
great.
Yeah, he was in a
was
lot
great.
of stuff. Yeah. No, there was Ken Wright, but that wasn't the Asian guy.
There was oh god,
I'm so glad you told me Peter
Yeah,
Jason,
Dennis.
'cause
Dennis.
that was
Dennis
That's it.
Dennis Yan.
Yan? Yeah. Well, it was
Dennis-
Ann Yen. She was my lesbian sweetheart.
Dennis Dunn.
Right.
And
was Walter.
Dennis
Dunn. D-U-N.
Dunn.
Dennis
That's it.
Yan.
That's it.
I knew it was three letters.
I remember watching that with my friends because, of course, after I recovered, I had to make sure every single one of my friends watched it and got as freaked out as I was. His scene of smashing through the wall to get away from you, evil ladies, was one of the most realistic. I mean, because that's, everyone would always say, I'll rip my way through a wall if I have to.
Yeah.
It's like, get me the hell out of
He did
here.
everything but shit bricks and build the wall between the both of you to save himself. But
Yeah,
man,
he's a
that
good
was
actor.
Really
That-
intense.
You're right. That was good.
That was one of John Carpenter's best films, in my opinion.
Prince of Darkness.
That and The Thing.
The Thing's my favorite of all
The
time.
Thing,
Yeah.
The Thing is the best.
Yeah.
But Prince of Darkness, for scaring the shit out of me and sending me up, you gotta understand. My mother, the reason there was a bed next to my father, because my mother slept in the living room, because my father gassed her out of there. He was a one-man gas machine. I was willing to put up
TMI,
with
too
that
much
to get some
information.
sleep that night. That's how scared I was.
Oh,
It's like,
jeez.
have Dad kill me in the Dutch oven, or go back in the basement with the Prince of Darkness. I went to the Dutch oven. I chose the lesser of the two
Oh,
evils,
man.
and the lesser of the two evils that night was my dad's Dutch oven. Sorry, not sorry.
On that note,
Tell me about
say
it.
goodbye.
that
Really
was
nice,
lovely, Joe.
really
Oh, I
nice
love
being on the
you.
show with you guys. I really enjoyed talking about John Carpenter and some of the
And
all the
thanks so
other
much.
shows, the TV shows, music. It was great. Thank you.
And
Thanks
thanks so
for
much. And
inviting
keep
me.
in touch. Let me know when you're in Vermont. Maybe we can try to set something up and play
I
up
definitely
there and,
will.
and get you and Brad to come up with me and my buddy Jim to play.
Nice. All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right.
All
Very
right.
good. Thanks so much.
Thank
Catch
you.
you later.
Thanks
Ann.
again, Ann.
Okay.
care.
Bye.
Very good. She's awesome. Awesome.
To quote Jerry Lewis, guy, nice lady.
Yeah. Just great. answered all your questions. I'm sure she'll have an 8x10 glossy for you, Joe.
This was the Prince of Darkness show, hosted by
It was
Joe.
good because I recently watched it, and maybe everyone in the chat now who's watching can watch it. It was an enjoyable movie. Like I said, the scariest part was the mustache.
The number of mustaches. AJ Simon in the lead role.
And then the Asian guy,
Victor Wong.
when he lost all that weight and trained Yuji Okamoto.
Fat Marita.
Exactly. You know who Yuji Okamoto is? I always get Yuji Okamoto confused with Getty Watanabe. No, I'm kidding. You know who said that once was a guy named we call him Rock, and his name is Aaron Dozier, and he played Stalin in Better Off Dead. And I'm going to have to bring him on to the show if you guys are Better Off Dead fans.
Oh yeah. Can you get Diane
That is
Franklin?
great.
I love Diane Franklin, but I love her.
we all love Diane
I
Franklin.
love her in Last American Virgin.
Yep, I believe
Sharon?
that's the first one. Yeah,
Sharon?
she was in
Yeah.
Amityville too. The
Oh, was she?
Possession
She was-
as well. Yeah.
She's also in Bill and Ted's. She's one of the
Mhm.
princesses. That was a handsome looking mug you just took a sip from. What was that?
Well, I didn't say
I know it's I don't think it's related to the show. I shouldn't be showing
Oh,
it.
look at that.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
How many
Yeah,
ounces
lovely.
is that?
It looks like
16,
whatever
I think.
16. Yeah.
Match game, fantastic wah guitar. Wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Wow. Wow.
I heard you was talking about password. All I remember was the password is.
Can somebody tell me what that guy's name was who played Stu Ullman
And what movie?
in The Shining? He was on Password. I think he also played John F. Kennedy in a movie. But when he was younger, he was a real good-looking guy. What the hell was his name?
Barry Nelson.
Barry Nelson. God, what else was he in, Krell?
He was in, let's see. I have to. I didn't look at IMDb, so just give me a second here.
What was his name? I don't see him listed on
Barry
IMDb.
Nelson. In The Shining, he played Stu Ullman.
There's no one listed as Stu Ullman.
Let's see. He was in.
Well,
Come
Stu,
on, come on.
Is it Stu
He
Ullman?
was-
Isn't that his name?
I believe so. He was in Airport, The Shining,
Let's see.
a guy named Joe.
Murder She Wrote, Fantasy
Shadow of the
Island,
Thin
Magnum.
Man.
He was in all our favorite shows.
I
Taxi,
agree.
Murder She Wrote, Fantasy Island,
The Roper.
Magnum PI,
Love Boat.
Dallas,
He was in
Taxi.
Battlestar Galactica.
Taxi.
Oh,
Stalin
he was in
Ski
an
the
episode of
K2,
Cannon.
exactly.
He was in an episode of Cannon. There you go.
As
He
all
was on
brilliant
purpose.
actors are. You know who else was on Canon was Anthony Zerbe.
Oh yeah, everyone knows
I know-
it. Kiss Meets
I
the
know you
Phantom
guys
in the
have-
Park.
Episode
Yeah,
of Twilight
yeah.
Zone.
Omega Man. He was
Barry
in
Nelson was in the
too.
Twilight Zone. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, he was in Stopover in a Quiet Town.
Willoughby.
Do you remember?
I love it.
Willoughby.
No, that's not Willoughby.
No, that
Uh,
wasn't Willoughby.
This is the one when he goes back to his hometown and he goes to the ice cream shop and everything's like prices of back when he was a kid. He was like a little kid who hurt his leg and got.
Oh, I
Remember?
was going to say that was Barry Nelson. Holy crap!
No, that's not the episode. The episode Stopover in a Quiet Town. A hungover couple awaken to find themselves not only in a strange house,
That was the
in a
first
deserted
episode
town
ever, wasn't
where
it?
nothing is as should be. Remember, the town is actually an alien kid, and they're on his play set.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Oh, Michael.
1964 wasn't the first one. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, because they push over the tree and they see
John
that
Taylor.
like cardboard underneath it, and
I love Barry Nelson, but he's on Password. What was the host of Password back then? Alan Ludden,
Yep.
Yeah.
Betty White's
White's
husband. And after him, when he passed, it was the guy who had polio. What's his name?
Oh, Bill
Bill
Cullen.
Cullen. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen Bill Cullen try to walk, but it's very sad. But he hid that very well on TV, you know.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that for the longest time.
Yeah.
FDR used to hide pretty well, too. Now, Joe, so what you had was actually COVID?
That's what I'm pretty sure it was. In my entire life, I've never lost my sense of taste or smell, ever. And this time it went out more than several times.
Yeah. Okay. So
It was bizarre.
how would you rate the severity?
Cold check.
Bad cold.
About a bad cold, like maybe like a bad flu. Not a bad flu. Like I would say honestly though, if I hadn't have gotten healthier and if I was still drinking and all that, if this was before I'd have been dead. But this was like my body every single day fighting it, then just a lot of sleep, waking up in puddles of sweat. It was
See, Krella, this is where you'd be playing the Rocky theme.
Thank you.
Yep. You're expecting me to call these buttons up out of my ass here, man. It's like I have to search
and
this.
the clip of Stallone climbing up the stairs in Philadelphia. That's what should be playing while Joe's telling the story of fighting this disease.
Well, I did find a boo button.
Can you hear Michael screaming? There's
Yeah, it sounds like a cat.
Yeah, it's really nothing I can do to stop that.
That was that.
I know that was supposed to be a boo.
That wasn't a boo.
No.
Mikey, stop.
That's not boo.
How do you stop that? There you go.
Yeah.
That's horrible, Krellbaugh.
Yes. Well, I do have this one. That's always comes in handy.
But it's still really loud. Every sound is coming through so distorted.
Really? Let me go to. Let me go to. Let me bring the gain down a little bit.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Michael.
James Dickinson's asking if you were vaccinated.
I hadn't had a chance. I haven't left the house since May 2019.
Well, you're vaccinated now. You got it.
Well, no,
Yep.
I'm still going to get vaccinated once I'm able to
Are
get
you?
there.
No. What I was
Why
going to
would you
say
get
is
vaccinated?
wait a
You
little
have-
while. Check your antibodies. You don't need it if you have the antibodies.
Wow.
I mean, like people that had COVID aren't getting it nearly as much as the people who got the shots. I mean, it's like
All right, let's not have
Reinfections.
COVID talk. I don't want to
Yeah,
be flagged by
Yeah,
YouTube.
because
for
it
these
eventually,
dickheads.
that's exactly what'll happen.
Yeah. So
I lost a follower. I finally
this
got that-
lower
I
in
finally got a
volume?
follower
I don't
back.
care about losing a follower. I just don't want them sitting there putting all kinds of COVID shit over my fucking intro.
They
or
will,
pulling the
and they
video
will.
down.
They definitely
Yeah.
will. Michael.
yeah, it was
gee
redlining.
willikers.
So
I think Mikey's upset that Anne Marie left us.
Yeah.
well, for Joe, that was serendipity. I mean, the whole thing. Hey, watch this movie, and then Dave says, "Hey, I know this person.
Yeah,
Let's
that
get him
was
on the
weird.
show." Then
Isn't that funny?
Joe gets to meet her, and
She's still as beautiful now as she was back then. I ain't even whistling Dixie.
So you know what's funny is when I met her and we started doing lessons, I knew she told me she was an actress. She may have said one or two things she did, but we never really talked about that. We always just talked music. In LA, it's like everyone acts and everyone does stuff, so you don't really think about it in the big
Kind
picture.
of
Like this,
you're desensitized to it.
yeah, like there was a
everyone's an
woman that
actor?
came in once, and I said, "God, I know you from somewhere." She's like, "Nah." I said, "Well, do you play out?" She goes, "Sometimes." I said, "But why do I know you? Your face, everything about you." Now, here's me, an idiot, not knowing that she's an actress. I'm like, "I know you from somewhere." She goes, "I don't think so." So she leaves. She goes and buys some strings and leaves. So I say to the girl, Fran, who's working the register, I said, Did she pay with a credit card? She goes, "Yeah." I go, what was her name? She goes, Rebecca Pigeon. I'm like, of course. She was fucking David Mamet's wife, who was in a ton of movies that I like. But yeah, I just didn't recognize, And who used to come in all the time with her kids was Ricky Lake. And I ended up helping Ricky Lake get her son Milo a gig over at the Genghis Cohen. But yeah, and then
How old's your
there,
son?
well, at the time he was like 10 or 11.
10 or 11. Yeah.
But now he's
Wow,
probably
time
in his
flies.
20s. But then her friend that was there is the girl that does the voice of Bobby Hill.
Yeah. I know that was done by a girl, but who does the voice of Bobby Hill? I know this.
I think it's Katie Seagal's sister.
I actually just saw this the other day. Actually, I think it might be. Oh, it's Pamela Adlon. Yeah, niece Seagal. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow. Well, what was I thinking of? I've said. Oh, I think it was F is for family.
Hey, Bobby, you're hotboxing it. Now, I'm not saying President Reagan dyed his hair, but if he did, it was to show the strength to the communists. I love King of the Hill.
Yeah,
was a
it
great
was
show.
F
That
is
was
for
a great
family. I
show.
was thinking of.
Oh, when he gets the mail and he goes, Bills, Bills, Bills. Why do I keep getting Bills mail? It's great stuff.
That's when Mo Collins plays Ben on F is for family.
I don't even know what F is for family is.
That's Bill Burr. It's on Netflix. It's
Oh,
actually
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that up
I
recently.
think there's
haven't
3
seen it.
seasons. There's some graphic parts in that.
I
just
should reach out to
hilarious.
Bill Burr.
Did you teach him? Who the hell
that'd
did
be
you
awesome.
teach lessons to?
No, Bill Burr I
Oh.
went to high school with.
Oh shit, that would be good. Bring him on.
God, just to have the accents, battle of the accents.
Yeah,
oh my
lemonade.
God.
We'll get him some lemonade.
A lemon, right? Exactly. Some lemonade. That's funny. Walter Becker played on one of Rebecca Pigeon's records. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, she was very nice. Like I said, I was going nuts because I'm looking at her going, I know her from something, but I didn't think of it as a movie. I'm like, I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm like, shit, did I see her in a bar somewhere? Did I see her perform somewhere? Did I meet her somewhere? I was thinking more like that than I was thinking she's been in movies that I'm watching.
Yeah, so
Like,
like,
I'll
the
tell
girl
you-
at the cash register and said, "Stop that pigeon! Stop that pigeon!"
Like in person,
Crickets aren't working.
Gina Mastra and Giacomo, when I met her, she was very she looked a lot like Juliette Lewis, but in my opinion, a prettier version. But at least when I saw her, I was like, oh, she looks real familiar. Oh, that's Janice Rossi. You know what I mean? It didn't take that long. By the way, that was on like Bravo last night.
Oh, why is that coming on now? Delayed reaction. I hit that button like after
Exactly. Joe sums it all in one face.
What?
Well, every time Krellby hits that button, you're like, what the fuck?
It just came inappropriately out of nowhere tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's like what happened is I had hit it earlier and it didn't come on. So I said, okay, it didn't work. Then all of a sudden it just popped up on nowhere.
And it doesn't.
Thanks, Johnny.
You can't stop it. It just it has to go its course or something.
Yeah, if you hit the button again, it starts over again.
So yeah, I'll start filming
close
the
window.
AM station live last night. You guys, Joe, you said you enjoyed that. I might go live again next week. It depends if we're working on 2 songs that I told him to go watch, and he can't watch one of them till tomorrow. I have a lesson coming out tomorrow of a song that we might do. And then also we do I don't want to say.
Oh.
I like the
when you put the
surprise.
lessons up, do you have trouble with copyright, or do you clear that first?
No. Sometimes they share it with me. and sometimes they don't. This one, I mean, sometimes they don't even make a claim. This time they didn't make a claim.
Okay.
Most of them don't for lessons unless I perform it during the lesson, which is why I love when people like, I think after you teach the song, you should play it through. I'm sure you do.
No, I think
I'm
that's
sure you
probably
do, but
that's probably what's saving you.
yeah, and I don't want to. Exactly. I'm like, no. So I don't. But and also like a lot of people are like, I wish you had the chord for this or that. And it's like, listen, do a little work. Watch me, slow it down, but do the work. You'll feel better when you figure it out than me sitting there showing you what the tab is. Because I'm not showing you the tab because it's for me. I don't need the tab. Like, so the song that I taught after what I did was, and this is what I do when I teach. I mean, when I decide, I woke up Saturday morning. Actually, Friday was the day I wanted to record a lesson for Monday. And I'm like, I don't even have a song that I want to do. I'm just in a piss mood. I was in a bad mood. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it today. I'll do it tomorrow. I wake up Saturday morning and I have a song in my head and I'm like, I'm going to teach it. So I put it on my YouTube, on my TV, and I'm listening to it. And within the first, minute of the song, I got every chord down. Then what I do is I go look up the chords online and I go to 2 or 3 different chord things online and see what people say the chords are. And I'm like, that's not right. That one's wrong. That chord's not right. And then then I just come in here and I stop playing it. I'm like, no, I was right. I knew what it was. And so like none of them had the third chord right to this song. They have the chord down, but not the voicing right. So I got the voicing of it, and then there's a lot of parts. So then I stacked every part and went over everything. That's kind of, and I love the song. So, and it's an easy song, but like I said, it's just one of those things. I was thinking of another ELO tune, and then I was like, nah, I can't think of one. And every week it's hard because it's like I think of what song would I like to perform, and what song.
Patience by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to it. Couldn't listen.
Don't
to
whistle.
It. It's just a GCD, anyways. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. Like to me, there's no harmony in there. Like and when I say harmony, like I mean, let me show you what I mean, because this is what I mean, and I don't and understand, Joe, because I know you're a metal guy and you like blues, but I am not in any way putting the other kind of stuff down when I say that, because I too love metal. Like I'm a metal head.
Oh, you can love anything. I love big band music. I love
I love it all. But what I'm saying is when I play acoustic and stuff, and when I'm playing, every pick falls into my hand except for the one that I want.
Now remember, your pick is too thick and the attack is too hard. That's what she said.
Yeah, I use a thick pick. That's how I like to play. Anyways.
Is that the Takamine?
No, this is a Epiphone. I'm tuning it up.
Epiphone.
Oh, I went out of tune bad. Why I went out of tune so bad? Is that clicking?
It's an Epiphone. What'd you expect?
No, usually it's in, but I had a down tune at a half step for yesterday.
Still out.
This is where Steve would say the tuning channel. All tuning all the time. Right?
Who?
What's this?
What he's doing now, this is when Steve would say the tuning channel, all tuning all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever he has to tune up on his Saturday night show.
Yeah.
See, like I like
enough.
harmony, like this kind of a chord.
That's nice.
C add 9 sharp 11.
You know who I like on YouTube because he shows beautiful chords to play that are simple. That guy Paul Davids. I'm sure you heard of him, right?
With the beard,
Yep.
he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Here's another beautiful chord. E minor 9. First chord in the song Dogs.
That's where I know it from.
The whole song's 4 chords. You've got to be crazy. Except he tunes the whole guitar down a whole step.
Where would you rate Gilmore in
Love
the
him.
pantheon of guitar players?
Yeah,
One of
he's
my
great.
favorites. Well, I say I don't rate technique or technical playing as much as I rate my favorites.
Okay.
Because we don't listen to guitar players who are technically proficient, because then it would be like Greg Howe or all these monster jazz
I love
guys
Greg
like
Howe.
Holdsworth.
But that's the truth, because there are girls on Instagram that obviously technically are better than BB King. But I'd rather hear BB hit that one B note all the way up on the E string.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
or B flat. Right? He's always, what was that? But
So, Joe-
yeah, so my favorite, Gilmore's one of my favorites. You know, the
He's got feeling.
love that. I mean, just everything he does, I like. I like his chord choices. I love all that, like.
Comfortably.
Oh,
You know, all that type stuff is just all like a. Whatever the hell. I mean, I'm playing on acoustic. It's hard for me. But all that stuff I love. I think I have nothing but love for Gilmore.
you know who summed up a perfect solo, a definition of what a perfect guitar solo is Zach Wilde. He said, if you get to the guitar solo and you find yourself singing the solo,
Yeah.
like it's its own little song, it's good.
Yeah. I think it's part of the song, though. I notice a lot of guys always say, oh, it's like its own thing. I think it's not its own thing. Because part of of Comfortably Numb is that solo.
Yeah.
That is the song. You know, it's as part of the song as much as the chorus is. And, you know, but what I was saying is like in some of those, like, I love like that type of chord, or like the major 7 chord. You can even look at like a Paul McCartney song, like, you know, someone's knocking at the door, somebody's ringing a bell. Just the simple thing there of changing the major 7 in the chord to the 6, and then the sus4. Do me a favor, open the door, let him in. All those harmonies of those chords, you know, or like, you know, look at a song like.
Yeah, speaking of McCartney, I saw that movie Get Back over the last couple days.
Well, isn't it a documentary?
Yeah, it's like it's basically the movie Let It Be, but it's like with all the missing footage and stuff. And you know, there's a lot that, you know, it's I could live without hearing I've Got a Feeling again.
Everybody's had a good year.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen the sunshine. They fight over that song, right? He yells at him and Harrison get into an argument about the bam, 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 bam.
Well, Well, what McCartney was saying was that
Hey, Rafter Man.
let's work out the simple parts, and you
Ed
can
B?
add the complexities afterwards.
My brother
And Harrison was the opposite. So Harrison says, "Well, I kind of want to work this out as we're doing it." And so then Harrison got fed up and said, "Well, I'll play whatever you want me to play."
Well, no, Harrison couldn't play it in the time and in the phrase the way McCartney wanted it to go, because he wanted it to descend, dun, 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 like, and Harrison just couldn't get it.
That's not what I saw. But anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, he left the group. I tell you, it had to be the most polite leaving of a group I ever saw. You could see he was getting a little frustrated, but I mean, it was politely frustrated. Then he
wasn't he mad about
he
was still off Hey Jude. He was still mad about Hey Jude.
It could have stemmed from that. But I was sensing his frustration was coming that he wanted to go about adding his stuff to a song one way, and McCartney says, let's just get it down simply first, and then we can go,
right, because in Hey Jude he wanted a noodle all over the place, and McCartney was like, I don't want you playing at all. And that's why in Let It Be, they show him, because I've seen Let It Be 100 times, he's like, I won't play on Jude, like I won't play like I did on Jude. Ben Deo says Gilmour takes the most hackneyed pentatonic licks and makes them sing. I disagreed. I don't think really many pentatonic licks are hackney, as much as players who use them and don't use them to sing. Like when David Gilmour plays, I think everything he does is for the melodic point of what he wants to say. So the fact that it falls into the pentatonic scale to me is irrelevant. It's just he sings when he plays. Some guys, they just noodle on the pentatonic, and that's when it becomes hackneyed. And perfect case is listening to Eric Clapton on the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. I cannot stand his playing on that album. And I've said it many times, like I love Forever Man. It's a fantastic solo. But what he's playing all over that Roger Waters album is horrible. And Jeff Beck, who plays on Amused to Death, does a fantastic job.
Yep. Well, Amused to Death. When that come out? 95?
No, way earlier.
Way earlier? 93? So. It was in the 90s.
I was thinking like 91, maybe. I don't 91? Know. Let's see. I don't know. Album came out in 92.
92.
It's a great record. Hey, Hall's ass.
Hall's ass.
Isn't that what it says? Hall's ass?
Yeah. Great name, Hall's ass.
But yeah, I love Gilmour. I think Zakk Wylde's a great player. In fact, one of my favorite Zakk solos is him and Warren DeMartini playing on the
Dweezil Zappa.
Bingo.
Helpless. The
Confessions is the album, but the song is called Helpless.
Oh, on Helpless. Okay.
Yeah. You familiar with that, Joe?
What was that?
Dweezil Zappa has an album called Confessions. On the song Helpless, the solo is Zakk Wylde and Warren DeMartini.
Oh, that must be good.
Oh, it's a fantastic record. But the song
and they
Helpless
do a version
is fantastic.
Of Staying Alive with Donny Osmond singing. And there's also a released version of Ozzy.
You're distorting here for some reason. Can you pull maybe the gain?
Oh, I think I pulled the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It was just really distorting.
Yeah.
Now, Crowball, you were about to ask me a question about a few minutes ago. What were you going to ask?
Yeah, I said, Joe, can you recommend another horror movie we can watch so Dave can recognize someone and have them on the show?
Gee, Dave seems to know everybody.
Oh, yeah, well.
You gave guitar lessons to the guitarist from Wasp?
Randy Piper, yeah.
Yep.
And here's a funny story. So Randy was taking lessons from me, and I get a phone call from John Taylor from Duran Duran who wanted me to play this benefit with him. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And at the time, I just had my dual rectifier. I had no effects. and I'm listening to the songs I got to play for this gig, and everything's like heavy delay, Strat. So I said to John, I said, listen, I don't even have a Strat. I'm just playing. I had 5 Kramer Berettas.
John Taylor from Duran Duran, you're friends with?
Yeah. So I said to John, I don't have a Strat. So John drops a Strat off at my house, a 59 Strat that he had just paid 15 grand for.
Ooh.
And just leaves it at in my room. I'm like, what the hell? And I didn't have any effects and no pedals or anything. So Randy Piper was like, oh, you can use my live rig. So I used his floor pedal board for that gig. And then I put him and his girlfriend on the list. And Rob Zombie played the show. We were backstage with everybody. It was fantastic. It was at the Mayan Theater in L.A.
Yeah, Rob's a local boy. Haverhill, Mass.
Yeah, Haverhill.
Robert Cummings.
He and Cena's from the next town over. He's from like up in like Amesbury or somewhere. I should reach out to Bell and see if I can get John on the show. That'd be fun.
From Duran Duran? Yeah, that would be pretty big.
No, John Cena.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait,
Well, that would be good too.
Huh?
The wrestler?
Yeah.
That would be fun. But the only problem with that is we wouldn't see him.
Why?
Why?
Do I have to get the
You
crickets?
Yeah, get the. You guys don't know that? Oh my gosh!
Let me get the crickets ready. Yeah.
Is there a wrestler? You watch wrestling? Apparently, I don't. So I have
haven't.
no idea.
I stopped watching it because it got really bad. But I've always been a wrestling fan.
Oh, okay.
But John Cena, the wrestling, before his signature move, he does this. He goes, "You can't see me."
Oh,
That's as
funny.
brilliant as I've got your nose.
Wow.
See, I met John and his brother Matt when they first moved to LA from Boston. I met them out in LA. They worked out at my gym out of Colts.
Yeah, well, all the wrestlers came on. I mean, New England's the big in the wrestling community, basically.
Well, Triple H and China were out of like New Hampshire or somewhere like that.
You know, all of them trained under Walter Kowalski.
Yeah,
Killer Kowalski.
Yeah,
yeah. And also, who Mick Foley trained under?
He could have. I know Hulk Hogan did.
Oh wait, we talked about 1,000 Corpses. Robert Mukes. Remember I told you I knew Robert? We can get Robert on.
Who's Robert Mukes now? Was he the guy in the wheel? Oh, no. He was the tall guy that played the...
yeah, but you can't tell he's tall because he's
like 15 feet tall.
He's next to Bigfoot, who's 7'6", and meanwhile, Robert's 6'10".
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's the one that picks up what's his name and throws him in the coffin. Oh, that's the effect.
Yeah. He does, I think, a lot of horror, like not festivals. What do you call those things?
Conventions.
Like,
the convention.
Yeah, conventions, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know Kane Hodder?
That would be cool.
The guitar
maybe
player?
He knows Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder, he played Jason on quite a few things. Jason X.
He was the best Jason.
He's done some low budget like movies like Ed Gein and stuff like that, and Douglas Rader.
Wasn't Stephen Rills back? Ed Gein?
Yeah, he was too. This was a different. I mean, there's a whole genre of like B and C movie, if there's even a genre of that, where like you have Parker Lewis there. What's his name? Someone help me here. Corin Nemec playing Ted Bundy in another one. It's it's pretty awful.
You guys ever see the movie John Tucker Must Die?
Yes, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I know Jesse Metcalf. He used to come in the shop. But we got some pretty good guests coming on. We got BMF next week, guys. Mm-hmm. BMF effects are awesome. Scott K is a great guy. And after that, we got Tim Kimber. And Tim, I'm going to have Tim afterwards reach out to brother Louie and see if I can get Louis on the show for Joe.
Oh, geez, I gotta queue up stories now.
What, brother Louis? What do you mean?
Louis,
You don't know
Louis.
Do you know who Brother Louis is?
No.
The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Then I'll really
Great
be
guy.
starstruck.
Oh, geez,
great guy.
that would take me back. Oh my God.
He's great. Yeah, you know what's funny is like the whole time I know him and his son Brent. You know, it's not something you talk about. It's just I just know him as a guy in the gym and we talk and shoot the shit. But it'd be fun to pick his brain about what went on back then on that show. The stories. It's fun stuff.
Oh yeah, he must have had a blast playing the Hulk.
You know who was my favorite character actor when I was younger was Ed Lauder.
Yes, he was in Longest Yard.
Yes, he was.
Yep, he's that guy that's in everything. That
He always
that
plays
guy's
a
in this-
dickhead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always plays a dickhead. I met him when I was waiting tables, and he was one of the nicest guys I ever met. Somebody else who else was cool was what's the guy's name? Brian. He was in Blade Runner. He was in Armed and Dangerous. Why am I blanking on his name? He's passed away now. He was in The Fifth Element.
Ooh,
You guys ever see The Fifth Element?
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
The guy who brings Bruce, the guy who's Bruce Willis is captain there. Brian
I'm looking it up. Give me a second.
Brian James.
Oh, Brion James. Oh yeah,
That's
that's
correct.
right. He was in 48 Hours as well.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Oh,
He
Dick
passed
fucking Tracy.
away. I loved him. He was great.
I knew Tom and his wife Bobby, Johnny Kramer, Tom Platz
yeah.
and Bobby Platz. They both worked out at my gym. Tom worked out more at World Gym, but he used to come in. But his wife Bobby was a trainer, and very cool. Guy was a legend.
He was in everything. That guy.
Yeah, Brian James.
Literally, in over 100 movies.
Yeah, and he passed away, right? He's like,
Yeah.
1999. I
years
didn't
ago.
even realize it was that
Oh,
long ago.
I was gonna say 8 years ago.
no, it was a long time. Yeah.
99, August 7th.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
that
he
that
was-
goes to show you what legacy that guy left in our minds, because
Yeah.
you know we're still seeing him everywhere.
I think The Fifth Element's one of the best movies.
Oh, it is. It is.
I love it. Ruby Roz.
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
That's the first time I ever saw Chris Tucker.
Yeah, huge legs, Kramer. Huge legs. Yeah, and also Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler was a Worcester guy. I knew Jay when Jay moved to L.A. and then moved to Orange County.
Well, Kurt Russell was a local guy too. He was in Springfield, Mass.
What was Kurt Russell's best movie? Do you think it was The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes or The Strongest Man in the World?
His best Disney one?
No, his best movie. His best movie has to be co-starring Joe Flynn. So it has to be The Strong.
No, you
I
know
love
I'm going to
Joe-
say The Thing. So
Wait, isn't Joe Flynn? Wait, is Joe Flynn and Phil Silvers in one of those movies?
oh god.
Because Joe Flynn was always the poor man Phil Silvers.
yeah, I used to get him confused with Phil Silvers.
I think they're both in one of those movies. Let me see which one. Joe Flynn, Phil Silvers. Let's see if a movie comes up. Strongest Man in the World.
Yep.
They're
See,
both
the
in it.
real question is, what side of the fence do you fall on with
Go ahead.
Kurt Russell? Is it Snake Plissken and Escape from New York, or The Thing?
The Thing.
The Thing. Yeah.
No question.
But Escape from New York is also amazing.
Oh, Escape from New York's good. It's got Adrian Barbeau in it.
It's good, but it's cheesy.
And it has Donald Pleasance again.
Donald Pleasance. Yeah, well, Carpenter had his guys and he liked
Yeah.
using them.
Oh, Bendeo. That's awesome. Well, now let me just try to think what Mexican restaurant was in Marina del Rey. There was an El Torito in the marina. Was it at the El Torito? I'm trying to think. That's the only one I could think of because the only other restaurant around there that's Mexican is La
Taco Bell.
Cabana, which is in Venice. Yeah, Kurt Russell played Elvis.
That was John Carpenter's foray into TV movies there. You know, I went, my mother was an
David
Elvis
Keith
fan.
also played Elvis in a movie.
Who did?
David Keith.
Yes, he did.
Not to be confused with Keith David.
Yeah, who was in The Thing.
He's also in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
And he's also in Requiem for a Dream.
Yep.
It's great.
The fight that he has with Roddy Piper in They Live, it's like this extended, it seems like it takes up 15,000 minutes. Michael, fuck, man. Excuse my profanity.
I love
just
They
put
Live.
the glasses on. Humor him, you know? Put the glasses on for a second.
I love They Live.
That was supposed to be Kurt Russell, not Roddy. And John Carpenter said, well, you know, I've been using Kurt Russell quite a bit. I want to switch it up a little bit. And he put...
But that was the big move, though.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper was great in it.
Yeah.
I came to chew
came here to
bubble
do
gum and
two
kick
things.
ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
All out of bubble gum. Ah, it's so good. So good.
The best is when he puts on the glasses and he's looking at the lady and she's putting on the perfume. He goes, oh, it's kind of like putting on you're putting perfume on a pig.
Yeah.
And then she goes, we have one that can see.
Well, there's the one where he said, you're ugly.
Fantastic. Carpenter also did The Fog.
Yep.
Trying to think of what else Carpenter did.
Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to think of his non-horror stuff they did. I mean, I came across some of his stuff. Like he has a little something called Body Bags that
was pretty good.
When I was a kid, I never thought slasher films were scary.
Never thought?
They never scared me. I never sat in a slasher film. Like when I saw Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, and I saw it in the theater. Who played the mother in that?
Oh, geez. Yeah. I
think I was more intrigued with the mother in that movie than I was with the premise. I just thought it was cool. I like the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, which kind of reminded me of Tom Hanks's wife in the Brady Bunch episode when she's the
cheerleader.
Yeah, what the hell was her name?
Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson, yeah. That's what it reminded me of. But I never was like, ooh, I didn't have nightmares after that. I was 10 years old or 11 when I saw Halloween in the theater. I loved it. But I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm never going to sleep. I was like, that was a cool film. Yeah, I thought when I was a kid, The Shining was pretty scary. Again, because of the two girls. But I never I don't know. Movies never really scared me.
You ever see Don't Go in the House?
No.
That was a very cheap movie with a very young Patsy Parisi playing the killer.
Oh,
like
really?
a Norman Bates complex or whatever. His mother used to abuse him and stuff. And so he picks up these women and stuff and he builds this chamber in his basement and he lines it and he hangs them and he burns them with a flamethrower.
I think they brought Patsy Parisi in because they killed his character off.
Well, he played twin brothers.
Well,
so
they
killed
not originally.
In Sopranos?
Oh yeah. If you watch like the podcast where they're talking about the writers and they killed him off and then they realized they liked him and they wanted to work with him some more. So they had to write him back in. So they wrote him as his twin brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's ridiculous.
What's his name? Grimaldi? Bob Grimaldi, was it?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Creep. That was a creepy movie.
Yeah,
I
but The
mean,
Fog was originally called The Mist, wasn't it?
Yep.
Isn't that what you said, the Stephen King The Mist? And there's
yeah,
no way you're
it's
having
loosely
Adrian Barbeau.
based.
You're not having a movie with Adrian Barbeau called The Mist where guys aren't bringing their own lube to the fucking theater. So they got to change it to The Fog.
Yeah, well, she was the reason to watch Maud.
No.
Oh yeah. Well,
Come
yeah,
on.
oh come
I
on.
had-
Her
B.
hairstyle
Arthur,
was the
B.
best.
Arthur is a sex goddess.
Oof.
Yeah.
Walter.
She also has
The-
a penis.
Yeah, the way she yells at Walter Finley, I love it. No, Adrian Barbeau was in, what was the other movie she was in? Was she, terrible Hal Needham movie. What the hell's that? Cannonball Run.
Oh geez, yeah. She was in the car with was she in with Farrah Fawcett? Or
Oh,
no,
Baja
Bobby
Cantina, absolutely, on Washington Bend. Oh my God. I've spent
Yeah.
many a nights at the
Adrian.
Baja Cantina. I used to live right there. My brother Richard lives right around the corner.
John Taylor brings up the first Friday the 13th movie with Kevin Bacon getting the blade tipped through the neck.
Yeah, the arrow.
Yeah.
The best Adrian Barbeau was in Creepshow. Tell him
Oh
to
yeah,
call you
the
Billy.
nagging
I
wife.
fucking love it. Billy. Tell him
Yep.
to call you Billy.
Creepshow was great in itself. It's like
Well, that
Yeah.
was
I liked her-
you have Stephen King and George Romero working
Yeah.
together. How could you have fucked that up?
I loved her in Back to School. She's got
Oh,
8
that's right,
closets
she-
full of nothing to wear. Yeah, she played Thornton Mellon's wife.
yeah, a bit part at the beginning.
Here's you. Here's Ramon. What's with the midget? You should shop at my tall and fat. No offense. Watch my sandwich.
That is a great movie.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
that-
It's 12:22. What are we going now? 2 hours? That's long. 2 hours, 20 minutes.
21 it says.
Yeah, we usually do 3, but I'm still.
Yeah, you're
getting over this
tired, I'm
shit, so
tired. We're all
I may need
tired.
to tap out.
Yeah, no,
Full
it's long enough. The show, look, there is no time on the show. If the show naturally has a flow, we go. If we're
Yeah.
winding it down, it's been a long week. It's a Thanksgiving Day week. I'm hungry. I got some chicken going downstairs. I bought some rotisserie chicken before I came home, so I'm gonna eat some of that. And
I had some froyo.
Yeah, I
That
go-
was gone before I came home. So
I go back to fasting tomorrow. Thank God. Hopefully, I'm over this shit. I can work a full week and.
no,
No,
Jamie
I need
Madsen
the
wasn't
Ramadan. I need the nurse to come when she's supposed to come, leave when she's supposed to leave, and all that other shit.
yeah, brutal.
Been a lot. It's been
It's been a long day, Helen.
been a long life.
get the pan camera, secondary
Okay.
camera.
I got it over here. What did I do with that piece you brought back to me? What did I do with that?
Oh, the clamp.
Oh, here it is. I want to separate them. Yeah. John Carpenter might have did Godzilla. Did it
No.
Godzilla? No.
Let me just look really quick here. Let's see.
I used to like the
let's see.
Baja Cantina.
Oh shit! I'm on the page of Brian James. He was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, he was? He's outstanding.
Yeah, I believe that.
I looked up and I see it. I'm like, what is this? Oh wow, he was. He in the episode called Alice in Disco Land. He played Al. I'm sure he got picked up and thrown halfway across the studio, right?
Yeah. No, if I'm awake, I eat. I won't do any carbs, but I'll eat.
Oh, I have to bring this up. We were talking about John Carpenter and other movies he did. A classic one is Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh, that is a
13.
great movie.
That's where Kim Richards gets shot in the chest. She's like a 9-year-old girl getting an ice cream cone. My mother was talking about
I've never
that scene.
forgotten that. That's vicious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I know it. All right, Jerry. Jerry, I'm going to get to that other thing that we talked about sometime midweek. I'll have it done for you. Just depends on what I got going on tomorrow. My student is still out for tomorrow. And I should be seeing Rich on Wednesday. So maybe I'll do it Tuesday before I see. Are you coming Tuesday? Jerry, what does Johnny Kramer write in 1969? Carpenter might have did a Godzilla.
Yeah, he did do a Gorgon versus Godzilla or something like that. It was like a film short that he did.
Oh, like one of those college
Yeah.
fan film things.
He also did Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill.
Oh yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah.
I love the Event Horizon. You guys ever see Event Horizon?
Event Horizon's fucking amazing.
I think so too. Do you see? Do you see?
Well,
I
Sam
love
Neill is fucking great.
Fantastic. That movie's
Love that.
great.
Who can you get from that movie?
Let's see. Sam Neill. I think I have him on my Rolodex. No, I don't know anyone. You know, it's funny because it's just, you ever see the movie Just One of the Guys?
Long time ago. You mentioned this before, and I had to
Joyce Heiser. I was
Yeah,
doing
I
cardio
remember.
next to. I'd like to get Billy Zabka on the show.
Oh, William Zabka.
I don't know him. Sorry.
Nuts.
But I'll see if I can I'll get Rock on Aaron Dozier from Better Off Dead. That'd be fun. I just got to message him on Facebook. Last time I saw him was I think it was 2 years ago. At a buddy of mine did a show down in Falmouth, and he came up from Florida to see the show, and I hung out with him that night. Good guy. All right, we'll figure it out, folks. We'll have there'll be a guest every week, and get weeks there aren't a guest. We'll obviously have something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about.
We'll go back to Guitar Talk.
Yeah, well, I know Ryan bought a traded a guitar in and bought a new PRS. So we have that to talk about. I'll have to have Ryan on soon. I think he's coming on for vintage sound amps episode. He's going to come on, but maybe I can get him to come on next week also for BMF effects if he knows anything.
Yeah, that's going to be good. The effects. I'm going to be begging that guy for some pedals. I'm sitting there. Wait till you watch. If you watch my video later tonight, you'll see. Last night, I'm doing. I'm watching my old paranormal bullshit. 4:15 a.m. Out of nowhere, I just get a bug up my ass that my Les Paul copy needs to be turned into a Doom machine. And I tune it down. I'm like, oh, these 10s ain't gonna work. Next thing you know, you'll see the video. I recorded a video of me cutting strings, putting a set of 11s on there. I got possessed.
Yeah. Would you drop the tuning down to baritone?
C standard. Because most Doom is going to be in C standard or C sharp. But I got it down to C standard, and I'm playing. I tell the story in my vlog that's up today. But the tone that I got, the best tone, is from this old piece of shit Line 6 Spider 3 that's literally in the living room as the TV stand. But since it still works, I have it plugged in, and every now and then I'll just plug a guitar in and play. And it has this one setting that for doom metal just was perfect. And I was like, I'm sitting there 6 a.m. Boom, boom. So
I'll tell you, a song you have to learn when you're doing doom metal is Into the Void by Black Sabbath off Master of Reality.
Of course.
Bow, dow, 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 dow,
dow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway. But that album, that was, if you're going to say Black Sabbath was, the progenitors of Doom, that album, yes.
Yeah, that is their Doom album. Although I like Paranoid better, and I like Volume 4 better. I like every album around it better.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. It's a great album. But Volume 4 is a better album, in my opinion. Paranoid's a better album. The first album's a better album. And Sabbath Bloody's a better album. Is it better than Sabotage? Probably not. But I do love some of the songs on Sabotage, like The Thrill of It All. And but I hate I'm looking through a hole in the sky. I don't like that song.
Really? I love
No.
Hole in the sky.
It's just too
Way to heaven.
yeah.
Hole
Yeah, I don't know, but I love what's the one? Lord of this World. I hear every day off of Master of Reality. You know Lord of this World.
Yeah.
That's anything by Tony. Yeah, like I said, and also I'm willing to say I put Heaven and Hell as their best album, even though it's Dio and it's blasphemy to say it.
Oh, Heaven and Hell is a great album.
I think it's Black Sabbath's best. I think it's along the lines of the lesson that I'm teaching tomorrow is by an artist who had a huge career in the early 80s. And in the late 80s, had this one song that I teach. Most people don't know the one song. I think it's his best song. I think also, like, I don't want to say, Echo and the Bunnymen, also in the early 80s, very big. To me, their best album is the 1987 album with Lips Like Sugar, which they don't really care for. Sabbath, I think their best album is Heaven and Hell, even though it's not the original lineup and everything. And it doesn't, I'm not taking away from Paranoid. I think Paranoid's unfucking believable. I just think Heaven and Hell is outrageous. You know?
It is a great album. I love Mob Rules. For me, it's Mob Rules.
Mob Rules is a great album.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You like Mob Rules better than Heaven and Hell? Not me. Although Sign of the Southern Cross and Falling Off the Edge.
I was exposed to Mob Rules first.
Gotcha.
That's
gotcha.
Why.
And I will say this. Anthrax. I love Sound of White Noise. I love Spreading the Disease. But I think For All Kings is their best album. Blasphemy, I'm sure, to many Anthrax fans. But I think that record, they hit it out of the park 10 times. I mean, it's just everything comes together for me on that record.
When did that come out?
2015, I think. Or 17, somewhere around there.
All right, I got to check it out. I don't know if I've heard it.
Oh, look up the tune Breathing Lightning by Anthrax and just play it loud as piss. Or do you know the album for Worship Music's a great album. The Devil You Know is a great song. But I think For All Kings is a better album. I only did some serious woodshedding to prepare for Heaven and Hell. Yeah, I listen, I love Mob Rules, Country Girl. I like everything about the album. I would honestly say if there was a song I don't care for, I love Sign of the Southern Cross. I love Falling Off the Edge of the World. I love Over and Over the last. Sometimes I feel.
That song that's my song this week. I must have listened to it about 20,000 times.
Over and over?
Over and over.
But see, lonely is the word for me. It's a long way to nowhere. And I'm leaving. To me, I just love that tune. What else is on? Oh, Slipping Away.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Good tune. Voodoo, I don't really care for so much.
Was that the one that had the wah solo that you didn't like?
No, that's Turn Up the Night. Like a fire that needs a spark to burn. Wow, 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 wow. It's like, what? What the hell's Naomi playing? Let him just play with the wah. He just bought it. Wow, 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 wow. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, my friend sent me a video of something I had forgotten for decades. And he's like,
oh, fantastic.
He goes, do you remember this? And it's a Black Sabbath album. I think he did with Glenn Hughes and it was called Living on the Streets. I'm no stranger. He's not even playing an SG in the video. And it's just Tony Iommi walking around in black and white up and down the streets, just looking very moody and introspective. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's the most Black Sabbath you've ever seen. And he's not even playing an SG in the video. It's like, what happened here?
You know, the first album, I think he recorded on a Strat, or at least tried to record on a Strat first. I'll tell you, the album that I never liked, I've never been a huge fan of Ian Gillan, and I just didn't care for Born Again.
Born Again, I fucking love that album.
I couldn't.
I love that album.
When it came out, he's like, zero.
Crash.
I was just like,
Crash
I'm
is
done.
unbelievable.
I like
Done.
trash.
Trash starts
Couldn't
a
do it.
million miles an hour and never slows down. And the
To me,
videos
that's
were great.
that's when I
They were
checked
so
out.
cheesy with bad special effects.
And you know what's
Zero the
funny?
Hero.
I didn't like Zero the Hero.
The hero.
I didn't like that.
You know what's funny is like a year or two later, they're doing the reunion, the reunion with Perfect Strangers, and I'm like, this is the best Ian Gillan's ever sounded.
Perfect Strangers might be the best Deep Purple album ever.
Oh, okay. See,
From
so you're into the
beginning to end.
blasphemous statements.
I love it though, because that would.
No, I know. I'm saying I have no problem with somebody saying that because I think it's a good record.
They made in rock and all that other stuff, but I agree. But
No. I like Who Do We Think
look,
We Are?
That was stuff I had to go back and listen to because I was a child when it came out. But when Perfect Strangers came out in '85, I'm in fucking high school.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of those mornings where everyone comes in and you know how someone's always bringing the news. Did you hear this?
Wasn't that 84?
Do you guys remember like in 84, 85, there was a song, Voices, I Hear Voices.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but it sounds familiar.
Russ Ballard had a song called Voices. It was a big hit. That guy, he wrote like Since You've Been Gone for Rainbow. He wrote Back in the New York Groove. He wrote what's that one? He wrote I Surrender. I Surrender.
Gone, that was Graham Bonham, right? The singer.
Well, singing, yeah.
Do you know the most hysterical story? Did you ever hear the Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys know Yngwie Malmsteen, right?
Yeah.
I think I've heard of him.
When he was in. Remember when he was in Alcatraz?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I love that first
one
album.
of my favorite live albums still to this day is Live Sentence.
I've got
the
that.
best.
Yeah, and the story was at the time that he hated Graham Bonham, and if you listen to that, the whole thing, every song is literally just Malmsteen doing a solo through the entire song. He barely plays any rhythm chords.
Fucking
And
great.
every time Graham Bonham speaks, Yngwie just starts hitting random fucking chords. So he just really hated working with him.
Oh, let me tell you, Evil Eye on that record is way better than the Yngwie solo album that came out afterwards with the recorded version.
Yep.
That live version kicks ass on that.
I remember I was watching Star Search once, right, in the 80s, and this dancing, this couple came on dancing, and they danced to Yngwie's Evil Eye. And I'm thinking, well, that's Yngwie.
Here's a band that's been touring the Orlando area for the last 15 years. Give it up. Oh, you're ruining my bit already.
Yeah, I had to ruin one bit tonight.
Give it up for Overnight Sensation.
It was either that or you're getting the crickets.
Yeah,
Here's a band that's been playing around.
Sleeping and hearing crickets tonight.
Everybody, give it up for Hot Property.
Oh my God.
Hot Property.
She was so confused when you did that too. It was hysterical.
Yeah,
I was like, "Ooh, does he not like her?"
Of all the times, I mean, she was just talking about getting married and stuff like that. And oh man, what a boner that was.
Yeah,
that I pulled.
Fred Norris, you are not.
There were so many jokes that I literally had a sideline.
Oh, Dave, you got to give me a budget here.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like I could be free to be me because me wanted to say, how did you get him? Did you have to spit liquid in his mouth? You know, shit like that. I couldn't say. You know, like, you know, hey, Prince of Darkness. It's the first time in cinematic history one girl squirted on the other. Right? I had to curb myself.
Yeah, that one might have been better off not on the show.
Yeah.
Well, we saved
the other one. I think was fine.
We saved it to the
However, you chose to tell her about your father giving you the Dutch oven.
But that was fucking true. It was literally, I'm terrified in the basement or have that man fucking gas me to death. And I chose the gas.
I love the fact. Wait, so let me ask you a question. So your mother slept on a foot? Where'd your mother sleep?
My mother slept on the couch her entire fucking life. And I don't
because your father just had the deadly gas.
Holy shit. You go into his bedroom at night and there was no escaping it. Even with
gonna
the air
vomit.
conditioner on,
Folks,
filter
I am
was
about
going.
to vomit in my own mouth.
It
Here.
was
Hold on.
literally a fucking gas cloud
Stay away from Dad on Taco Tuesdays.
on any fucking day. Don't have to be a
Well,
Taco
I mean,
Tuesday.
those are especially brutal.
Holy shit.
So you're saying
Yeah.
your parents didn't share a bed because your father was busy shitting himself at night?
Oh my, it was horrible.
Ah,
And I couldn't blame her because I even said, how come you don't? And I realized that at an early age, you realize because you'd go in there, he'd call you to go get something like, go get me an orange and a knife or some weird shit. And you'd be like Bela Lugosi just fucking using a cape. You literally like cutting through the fucking.
Bela Lugosi in Plan 9.
Yeah, you're literally going there like fucking Lugosi. Holy shit.
My friend's father had a chair. If you went over the house and if you sat in that chair, God help you, because it's like that cushion just had all of his gas
fuck.
over all those years.
That's horrible.
And you just get it right up.
No. Oh, Lord.
Folks, we've given you a lot of entertainment. Norm Crosby's coming on with his Malproisms.
Little Mr. Jones is disgusted.
Unbelievable. All right, guys. So next week, we will have Scott K on the show. The date will be, I believe, December 5th. Let me just take a look at my calendar
Save
here.
the date.
And he's
It
the
is
pedal
this-
man.
It is December 5th. He is the pedal man. He is in the same area that Ann was in today, which is South Bay, California. South Bay, Los Angeles, which is basically anything from like Palos Verdes north up to like El Segundo. But I believe he's in the Hermosa area, if I'm not
Where I
mistaken.
lost my wallet.
I gotta get it. I got to get it. Love them. All right, guys. Anything you want to say before we call it a night? You guys want to? Joe, you got a vlog coming out. Did you edit it yet? Is everything
the
done?
vlog I put the vlog out. I finished putting it out when I took care of Michael before. I'm like, let me just do the thumbnail and put it up.
Oh, okay,
So
very good.
I did that during the show. I started, it was already finished before I came on. I just had to do the thumbnail. If you don't follow me. You might like it. If you don't like it,
Put your link in the chat. Put your link in the chat. Everybody,
Hold on.
follow Joe. If you don't follow Joe, then you are not following Joe. But follow Joe.
Yeah.
And follow Krellbar. Krellbar's lost some subs lately. I know he
I put no content on there, but who knows? One of these days,
he
God
puts
forbid.
the crickets at inappropriate times, but God help him.
Inappropriate.
And next
cricket
week,
help-
folks, next week's put your link in there. What are we looking at here? Next week, everybody, we have Scott K. So it'll be much more guitar centric next week for those who are guitar fans. But it should be a fun show. And then the week after that will be much more. We'll be able to talk to Tim about a lot of stuff about possibly, like I said, hopefully I can have him if he has Lou's number. I don't have Lou's number, but I can reach him on Facebook pretty easy. But we'll see. And it's a fun show. I had a good time tonight, guys. I was tired today, but when I came on the show, I felt good. Now I'm ready to
I'm
eat
just
again.
curious if we got any thumbs down tonight.
Oh yeah, there's 5.
There's 5?
5.
We had great entertainment tonight.
There
Jeez.
are people that do it before show even starts.
Oh yeah, I'm hated. It's fine. People
Yeah.
can hate on me all they want. It's welcome.
Whatever. They did it to me. For whoever does it, at another channel I go to found my channel and was doing it, and then they got bored because I was like, I love you, God bless you. Because any interaction is good interaction.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm the opposite. I hate them all, even if they give me thumbs up and I want you all dead. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, yeah, I don't care. It's
No, I was just curious because it's like, how do you thumb down a show where you have a guest on?
oh please.
It's like,
But how do you thumb down
okay, if
the
you've
show
got it
before
out
it
for the
starts?
host or something like that, it's like, but
But there are people that leave the thumbs down before it starts.
Oh, it's even before it starts. It doesn't matter. I don't take it personally. I don't care.
oh yeah, No,
Because
no,
it's
it's
fucking
just
YouTube.
puzzling trying
And
to
I
figure
honestly
out the
don't have any
mentality.
respect for any of these people like watching. I don't know who's Electro Omega in the chat. I don't know who that is. No. But honestly, I don't care. It's most people that would do that. Those people, I think, in person would have a problem talking to you or saying something. I don't like your show. Or it's like, yeah, right.
Whatever.
That's why they do it, because that's their thing. It's all right.
All right, everybody.
All right, folks. We had a great time, and we'll see you all next week. Guys, have a great week.
Sure thing.
I'll talk to you all
God
soon.
bless.
Let me get my my outro.
We'll
ready.
probably end up
I'm-
doing a cigar before the week's over.
Smoke.
Yeah,
one
just
for
depending
me.
on what's that?
Smoke one up for me.
Oh, absolutely. All right. You guys ready to say goodbye?
Yep. Good night, friends and
Good
whiny
night.
bitches.
God bless.
And very good.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.
Goodbye.